The two teams went through a joint practice outside the facility Tuesday morning in Foxborough. Jim Murray and Chris Gasper have Patriots preview beginning at 4:30 this afternoon here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. That'll be followed by kickoff with Bob Sosi and Phil Perry at 7:30. The two starting quarterbacks, Drake May and Daniel Jones, are not expected to play tonight. In other Patriots news, they signed not one but two running backs yesterday, bringing in Hassan Haskins and Jermichael Hasty. Up in Toronto last night, the Blue Jays scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to snap a 1-1 tie. They held off the Red Sox 6-4. Sox did get the tying run to the plate in the 9th, but Tyron Guerrero allowed all 5 runs in the 8th through 20 pitches and got nobody out. He took the loss. Ernie Clement drove in 2 runs to lead the Jays. Sox have lost 5 in a row. Peyton Tolley will pitch against the Jays this afternoon. The full NBA schedule will be announced at 3 o'clock today. Yesterday, the league announced the NBA Cup group play games for the Celtics. That means home games against Chicago and on Black Friday night against the Washington Wizards. The road games will be at Charlotte and at Washington. The big story in the league came yesterday from L.A., where 10 months after he was approved as the new owner of the Lakers after buying the majority interest for $10 billion, Mark Walter sold it to the duo of Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for $12.5 billion. And the Little Leaguers from Bridgewater, Massachusetts, play Gray, Maine tonight in the New England Regional Final in Bristol, Connecticut. The winner advances to the Little League World Series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you out the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Say something dirty to me. When I was a young warthog.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Danny Roach is in for Hardy today. You can watch us on YouTube. Watch Dan on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub. 617-779-0985. Hello, Danny.
Hey, Freddie, how you doing?
Well, we've already asked each other that.
Informally.
John, you're going to have to turn on your microphone. I'll do it for you, but you're
Not
not
on
turning
the
off
air.
your mic.
All right. Got it.
Um,
With different people on and off the air, so we figured we'd do it on the air, too.
Well, I think there's something that you need to get out of the way first before we proceed any
we don't want to
further.
talk about that. Just
No. Dan is not happy with you.
driving in my car.
Dan is not happy. He told me after he heard you say this on the air, he almost had to pull off the road and pound his steering wheel a little bit. He's upset about your travel to Orlando and your hotel reservations at Disney and how you did not consult him, the Disney expert, before booking something.
Now, let me just preface this, John, that my daughter had to go on a recruiting trip for her Babson College softball team and had to go to Tennessee, to Knoxville, and I asked Fred, call Fred because I hear him talk all the time about going to Tennessee. Fred, is she better to fly into Atlanta and drive, fly into Knoxville and drive? What does she do? He gave me the lowdown. It works perfectly. So
because
my
the two
wife
of you
and
are
I, yes.
friendly like that, and
Yes.
you figured that would be good to lean on his knowledge of the area.
Yes, and what's the one thing I know about in life? Not many things, right? What's one?
Disney.
Right. I think Freddie T would, hey Danny, think going with Zoe to Orlando in March, a couple days. Where'd you recommend? Any ideas, any thoughts? No, none. All I hear is, I booked something. Come on.
so I thought of asking you, I did think of asking you. I absolutely did. I thought of asking Crash, and then I realized that would have been stupid because Crash goes with other men, and that wasn't going to do me any good. And has no children, and he goes several times a year. So I realized that I was getting way too into the weeds with him.
Yes.
Also, Zoe and I, my daughter and I, are going to, and she's 16. We're going to Orlando, but the reason we're going is not Disney. We're going because her friend is going to my alma mater, Rollins. She's leaving this weekend. We saw them yesterday. And we're going down for like 2, but, we're not staying at Rollins for a week, I'm not, embedding myself in this girl's life for a long time. I mean, Zoe's going to spend time with her on campus. I'm obviously not going to hang out on campus. But I'll take her out to eat, which I know she'll like because I remember when I was in college and any parents came in and took us out to eat, we were like excited because you don't get to go out to eat when you're in college.
How strange is that circle of life, though, right? She could go anywhere in the world if she's going to Rollins College.
It just shows the power that I have and the influence that I have over people.
You keep saying it.
Yeah, like a Manson. I've studied Charles Manson. I figured out how to
Good for you.
Did you ever go into your house and the furniture's rearranged? You'll know that I did a, what do they call those? Creepy crawl. I walked into your house, and before Manson started killing people, him and the family used to go into people's houses and reorganize the furniture. So that's called a creepy crawl. That's what we would do.
Thanks.
And so but my daughter and I are not like super into rides. So here's the deal: is Orlando's not warm in February. It's not. I remember from being there, like you have to wear like a light jacket. It's not like pool warm, so you can't. I'm in February. Florida's not necessarily warm. It was cold this year. Remember, all the iguanas were falling out of the trees.
It just depends on it's hit or miss.
But Orlando's never going to be warm in February, like 80s.
Right.
No. So you can't like hang out by the pool and stuff. So I had to find like something to do. I'm not flying down to Orlando for 2 days. Plus I have the week off, and she has the week off. So fine, we'll go see her friend Parker at Rollins, and then we'll go to Disney. And so I just looked, honestly, for the most expensive hotel. That wasn't like ridiculous. So I just was like, whatever is, because there was hotels for like $200 a night. And
on property or
through the Disney Corporation. I went to Disney.com and just looked at it.
What are your dates?
I'm working the day after the Super Bowl and then leaving that day. To go down there.
I assume the Super Bowl's on the 7th?
No, it's Valentine's Day.
Oh,
the
it's
Super
later
Bowl
this year, huh?
is on the day before President's Day.
Was that vacation week?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nasty.
Yeah, that's why prices are ridiculous.
So
the 15th?
prices are expensive, yeah.
That Monday you're going to Disney?
I am going that Monday, yeah.
Okay, and when are you checking out?
No, I'm not going to Disney that Monday.
Oh.
I'm going to Disney that Wednesday.
Wednesday the 17th.
What are you doing?
When are you checking out?
That's Saturday.
That's Saturday the 20th.
Danny.
2 adults?
Well, no, for Disney, she's a kid.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 child.
Anything under 18 is a kid.
Really?
At Disney,
right.
yes.
Surprising.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, but I guess maybe it's... I
Hold
don't know
for
what it's
launch.
Oh, you're on the Disney website?
Yes.
You got on it that quickly, huh?
Well, he's got the password. He's got the
if you're
fast
not
pass to
into
the
the
website.
rides-
Yeah.
If you're not into the rides, right away the first thing that came up that I said would be different and you might like, and Zoe might like, is staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
No. I looked at that and I said,
Yeah.
no.
Why? You get
Because
the
I don't
animals
want it-
all hanging around and
No, I don't want that.
okay.
I want a nice hotel
That's a beautiful hotel.
where there's things to eat and things
Yes.
like that.
Oh, in fact, these prices aren't too bad.
For you, but I mean, I thought for
Coronado Springs, yeah. So I see.
Well, I'm not going to Coronado Springs. I'm staying at the I got that wrong. I'm staying at the Grand Floridian.
Oh,
okay.
Fred. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
That's the way. Pam and I spent our honeymoon at the Grand Floridian.
So I
Put that thought in your mind while you're staying at that hotel.
Oh yeah, them consummating their marriage. I love it.
Yeah.
So
Separate rooms.
Yeah, that's right. Separate beds. You stay in the same room. You've just been married.
Mouse-shaped ear beds.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the only way he could get it up. He was losing his virginity. He needed some comforts of youth. I said you were losing your virginity. That's like a nice thing. That's right. He got to make love to his wife. And so, no, I keep saying Coronado Springs, and Parker's mom yesterday was like, ooh, like she was like, yeah, you should have asked me. Are you sure you don't want my friend to do this trip for you? And I was like, oh, and I looked and I'm like, why are you saying that? Like, why is this hotel so bad? I'm like, it was expensive. Like, why are you saying that? And then I went and then I saw it was a Grand Floridian, and then she was like, okay. And I had been saying Coronado
Although
Springs.
I stayed at the Coronado Springs 2 years ago, but we used it as a base because Tori's team was playing games down there. So we just used that as the base hotel. And it was fine. The Grand Floridian, though, it's right on the monorail. It's like, you're going to have so much fun. It's great.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do at Disney.
There's plenty to do, Fred.
What would you do if you're not like a huge fan of rides?
Well, let's just first of all, it just depends on what you're interested in. But, you can there's plenty of great food places all around that. The buffet at Polynesian is fantastic, Oahu. And then the Grand Floridian itself is a beautiful resort to walk around. It's a great pool, but you're not worried about the pool. But then you got to go to the parks. Just because you don't want to go on the rides doesn't mean you go to the parks. And
I mean, there are rides that
you
will
can
go
walk
on, I'm
to the
sure.
Magic Kingdom from there.
Yeah, I know. It's a mile.
Yeah.
But I don't know what we're going to do at the Magic Kingdom. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You got to go on some rides, though.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't want to go on. Like, she doesn't want to go on roller coasters, and I don't want to go like on It's a Small World or anything. So I don't know what we would do. I mean, it's
The
not
Buzz
that
Lightyear ride's fun.
I've done that, but I mean, we'd have to wait in line for. I'm not paying for some pass.
Well, if you set it up, though, you could do it. Just pay a little bit extra. You're going to do that. You might as well. If you're all in this way, you got to go all in.
How do you
Push
set
the chips into the table?
How do you set that up?
My nephew will help you with that. You got to get up, set your alarm for 7 or 6:20 or something.
Yeah, okay, I'm not doing that on vacation.
Well, I'll do it for you then. Give me your info and I'll fix it. Okay. I'll take care of you, Fred. That's what I was heard about. There's so many things I love doing about it, and then you just don't even pick up the phone.
So the day, no, you didn't call me. So the day of I would have answered the phone if you called me.
No, you didn't call me. I had to hear it on the radio.
Didn't. Oh, okay.
I would have helped you.
Usually pick up the phone. I thought you meant answer it. So, but that's from landlines, so I can understand what you're saying. So, yes, I was thinking about. How much is a fast pass?
The little ones are like, Tori does it with our app. It's like $15 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem spending like $100 or something for a fast pass.
If you're going to be down there, you got to do the park hopper, the 4-day pass to different parks.
Well, I got the thing that's 3 days of a park a day.
Oh, you're great.
Yeah,
you're well on your way to a magical vacation.
Right, but I don't have the fast pass, so you have to get up in the morning to get the fast pass.
Well, you can do it the night before. Well, I'll have my nephew will go over the whole thing, or my daughter. They'll help you with it. Tori's really good at stuff like that. She plans it all the time.
Okay.
And there's so many different rides now that you don't like. There's no you can avoid roller coasters if you want to do that. You got to go over to Hollywood Studios for the Star Wars ride. That's just a cool ride, the way they do it. To be on.
But you have to remember, I'm with a 16-year-old girl.
She'll like it.
I'm not positive she's going to want to go on the Star Wars ride.
Does she like the Star Wars movies at all?
No. I mean, she doesn't know anything about them.
Well,
I mean, she's a 16-year-old girl. She doesn't watch Star Wars.
You guys go to the movies all the time. Maybe you watch Star Wars for the first time together.
I went to the library one time and got Star Wars and brought it home when they were little. And I put Star Wars on, and then the first Star Wars. And then I'm not alone in this. I had not seen it because it wasn't on video, remember, for years and years and years.
Yep.
And I started watching Star Wars, and it's so boring that they got disinterested in 15 minutes because you're selling this thing like this was the biggest movie. This was the coolest movie when I was younger than you. When I was younger than you, this was the coolest movie. And I put it on, and it's just this boring desert crap that doesn't go anywhere, and you're like, wow, this movie's not so great. And then I realized I don't know if I had ever really seen it because it came out when I was 2. It wasn't on cable or on VHS. I'm not positive I ever saw the original Star Wars. I definitely saw Empire Strikes Back, and I know I saw Return of the Jedi.
Now, did you like those?
I was so little. I liked the toys.
Yeah.
Like I liked playing with the toys, but I don't like. I think that Star Wars came out in '77. Like, there's no way I saw that. So, or even if I did, there's no way. And then there was no way to see it when I was a kid. So I'm not positive I ever saw like Star Wars from front to back. So that means I've never seen Star Wars from front to back because I didn't watch it because it was so boring. So I stopped watching.
And it doesn't carry over like the Harry Potter movies can nowadays.
I've never seen the Harry Potter
Come
movies,
on.
and neither has she. Yes.
No, I was just going to say, when my kids were younger, I sat them in front of the TV and played them Star Wars. And the first half hour, 45 minutes, they wanted to quit about 4 or 5 different times. But once you got beyond that and, lightsabers started, being introduced and stuff, they were into it. But they liked Empire Strikes Back, especially the beginning scene with the walkers, much better than Star Wars.
Well, Empire
More to
Strikes
your
Back
point.
is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like that I've seen more than, I've probably seen that 2 or 3 times. So I like Empire Strikes Back. But I remember seeing Return of the Jedi vaguely in the theater.
Yeah.
My father says he took me out of school to see Empire Strikes Back, but I don't think that happened. There's no way that happened. Right. There's no way my dad A, missed work, or B, took me out of school. And then that would have required doing something with me, which I can also tell you. I remember one time he took me to Kmart, and I remember it very well because it was so weird that he took me somewhere. So, like, I do remember, I remember that. I would definitely remember him taking me to the movies because it would have been so crazy. Like, it would have been, like, for most people, having them take you to France or something. I would have remembered him taking me to
What
the
is
movies.
this? Popcorn.
Yeah. I would have been like, what the hell's going on? You're taking me out in the car? And we're not going to we're not going to one of my baseball games. We're going in the car to something. Whoa, Dad. And you're not at work? That never would have happened. But I don't know what we'll do. But I am content in knowing that there'll be enough to do.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I'm happy that you're staying at the Grand Flow.
The Grand Flow.
I mean, the Grand Floridian, sorry.
The Grand Flow.
Wow.
That's right. That's what Roach used to call his aunt's menstrual cycle.
Come on.
Grand Flow. You didn't do that on purpose either. That just rolled right off your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny because when I said Coronado Springs, everyone gets all antsy.
I know, right?
Because they're like, they want to say that's not such a nice
Good
hotel.
restaurant right in the middle, though. 3 Bridges.
Yeah, they want to say that you shouldn't stay there, but I am staying at the Grand Floridian. And I like that you think the prices aren't that high. It's usually $900 and some odd dollars a night for a hotel at Disney.
Yeah. Well, especially when you go in then, Fred. They jack everything up.
Okay, because you can stay pretty nice hotel for $1,000 a night.
I know. You can't bring that in, though. You got to bring in just clean slate. This is what it's about.
Well, I mean, if I was going to like a resort that I wanted to be at, and I was like excited to go to, that would be a very reasonable rate.
Yeah.
But I'm going to Disney, which I don't really want to do. But I'm not flying to Orlando and then coming back a day and a half later because and I'm not staying in Winter Park for a week. So there you go.
So where are you going after Disney?
Home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Winter Park for 2 days, and then Disney for 4, and then back. So leave Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So only 3 nights at Disney, and then back.
Are you flying JetBlue?
No, I'm flying Delta, but I haven't booked the ticket yet.
I fly JetBlue because JetBlue has its own terminal now at the Orlando airport. It's so
I'm
easy.
not flying JetBlue. I'm diamond status on Delta.
Look at you.
They keep you brand loyalty because it's
like
free
Delta.
upgrades and everything else.
Really?
So, oh yeah, Danny.
Can you give it to your friend?
No.
I booked all my Patriots
But if you and I traveled together,
Ooh.
and you had a Delta Sky Miles number, they would upgrade
Really?
you too.
I'd come with you.
But I mean,
I'll go to
upgrading,
Disney with you guys.
getting upgraded to Delta Plus on a flight to Orlando is not magic. It's not like the greatest thing in the world.
I know.
It's not,
I like when they only offer you 2. Sometimes you're at the kiosk and you're going to New York, LaGuardia. Would you like to upgrade to first class? And it's like,
Well, yeah,
on.
like when we went to Maine, they upgraded us to first class, and it was like, wow, great.
seat with a seatbelt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, like, what am I? There's nothing. Oh, they give you soda before the
It's
flight.
a mini bottle of water.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there's a bottle of water on the tray, and then you
Oh.
get in there and they give you like a sip of Diet Coke.
Biscuit,
before,
sir?
not even. Before the flight, they give you like a sip
Really?
of soda. And then, because someone asked for like an alcoholic drink, and they were like, "We don't have any alcohol on the plane." And then they take the cup away from you before you take off. Really, if you're not drinking, first class on like any like pretty much flight in this side of the country, from Boston to anywhere this side of the country, isn't really. It's not that great. I mean, it's not like if you're drinking, and even then. At the end of my drinking, when I would be in first class, they would, like, they don't come around very often. Like, the days of, like, just putting your hand up and, like, getting hammered.
Another?
Right. Or, like, they used to not care. They used to be, like, kind of fun. But that's all out. People
And then you don't
ruin
want to
that.
pass out because then you don't enjoy first class, right? Because you want to be that tired. If you're exhausted and you
I
want to
would have taken sleeping. But I would have rather sleep. If it made me fall asleep, then I'd take it.
Have you ever done like over to Europe or anything like first class or economy or anything like
So
that with the
one-
little beds and stuff?
So one time we were flying to back from London, and for whatever reason, like I kept hitting like maybe it was off season or something, because everywhere we went they kept upgrading us, and I didn't have any money, and they were just upgrading us. Like I used an American Express card, and I don't know what happened. It wasn't by design, but they upgraded us at the hotel. And then we were flying back, and my seat was like 2-4G. And so I'm like, what the hell is this? And we get on the plane. I'm in like the first boarding zone. I get on the plane, and there's an upstairs.
Oh, that's like
Yeah.
the Red Sox flight to Japan.
Yeah, and so we were upstairs, and then they had this, like, you had your own cube.
I've seen videos. I've seen videos of this.
How was that?
It was cool. I mean, also, like, I'd never flown. I don't know if I'd ever flown first class before. And, it was a second. I've never been on a plane since then that had a second
Yeah.
row. So, yeah,
Were
it
you
was
up or
really
down?
cool. Up.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Real situation, Danny.
I'll travel with you, Fred.
No, yeah, I'm going lots of great places. Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Maine.
Nice.
I'm all over the place. Mm-hmm. Having the time of my life. All right, we'll be back. The Red Sox played last night, Danny. Ooh.
Who? Cards have won 7 of 10.
Yeah, the Cardinals had day game yesterday. Beat the Phillies.
Dan, it's
Only
time
3
to
games out. The
Dan,
wild card.
It's time to discuss your team, Dan. It's time to discuss them.
Listen, I'm not going to talk about Jaron Duran. Every day I tune in, all I hear is John ripping Jaron Duran.
Well, you
I'm
know what?
tired of it.
He was in the middle of it again last night.
He's trying.
Yeah,
He
he's really trying
Not an
hard.
easy game.
he got a hit in the ninth inning.
He did. He got a hit. You know what? Just for you, Dan, we'll play that Duran hit in the 9th inning to make you feel better, okay?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, I watched that game. The team is fascinating.
Yes.
That's a great way to put it.
They got me watching them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never watched. I don't know if I've ever watched this much Red Sox outside of the playoffs. They're a very interesting team, and they're gonna f around and get the Blue Jays into the playoffs. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
State.
Did you catch a game last night?
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. Danny Roach is in for Hardy today. Brought to you by What Happened Last Night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Jonathan, what would you like to start with?
All right, we'll do Red Sox. Let's go through this because we have Captain Red Sox, Dan Roach here. And Danny was flying high when the Red Sox are winning 31 of 36. Things have changed a little bit in the last week. They entered last night's game in Toronto trying to put an end to a 4-game losing streak. Ranger Suarez faced the Blue Jays at Rogers Center, and entering this start, Suarez had allowed a total of 0 runs and 5 hits over 12 innings of work against Toronto in 2 previous starts. That magic ended in the 2nd inning last night.
One to him. Line drive, base hit. That's toward the alley. They'll chase in a run. Okamoto is in on the RBI single by Clement, picking on the first pitch. And Toronto on the board 1-0.
Kaz Okamoto golfed a good Suarez curve into the left field corner for a double, and then, as you heard, Ernie Clement singled him in with 2 outs to hand the Jays the early lead.
Ernie Clement played for and was MVP of
About guessing the Cape League.
Harwich Mariners and the Cape Cod Baseball League.
How do they get kids to pitch in that league?
How do they get them?
Yeah.
It's changed over the years. It's different. Now it's a lot of times if there's now if 20 kids get recruited to LSU and this kid's not a everyday starter, doesn't pitch much, they'll say after your freshman year, why don't you go up to the Cape League and get back to where you need to be and everything else.
All right, because that's what I was going to say is if they pitch a lot in college, they most likely don't want them pitching in the Cape League.
Yep.
So it's an offensive league is what you're saying.
It's wood bat helps deny that a little bit, or neutralize that.
I can never tell wood bat or not. It seems the same to me. Can you tell much of a difference?
Velocity-wise, you can, but not much now. These guys are good with it. They're fine with it.
Yeah, I can't even tell with 18-year-olds wood bat or not. It all seems kind of the same. But
I talked to one manager down there who did say that you definitely it makes they can see the differences in these kids when they put a wooden bat in their hands.
Okay, because the sweet spot of the wood bat launches the ball further than the sweet spot of the aluminum bat,
Really?
but the sweet spot of the aluminum bat is longer. So
Thus,
you know how I
easier.
know that? Science.
Nice.
It's true.
Okay.
I won the Detroit Country Day science fair and went to states with that very
Did you really?
science project. Yes, that my mother did, and I sat there.
Very cool.
Absolutely. My mom's still proud of that
should
because
be.
she did it. She doesn't remember doing it, but she certainly did.
Did you get a ribbon?
I didn't win in states. I was there, and it was at whatever theater, and I was with every nerd, and I had no idea what was going on. I was like in 6th grade or 7th grade.
Good for you.
Oh yeah, it was real core memory for me.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay,
But there you go. I did the research myself.
that's good though. I was never good with that kind of stuff.
Well, I was really good when my mom did it. All right, go ahead, Jonathan.
Sox went without a hit against Toronto starter Jose Soriano through the first 3 innings. So they were down 1-0, but a chance in the 4th. Cedon Rafaela singled with 1 out. Adley Rutschman at the plate, and then Rafaela ran the Red Sox out of the inning.
That bounces away from Kirk, and that'll advance Cedon into second. He's going to keep on going. He's heading into third, and he's going to be out by a lot. Over aggressive there, and Kirk cuts him down.
This is what the Red Sox were doing a lot of earlier this season. Bad base running, bad defense, no hitting. We saw a lot more this last night, Dan.
Yeah, what are you doing, right? In that situation, you're like, come on. Like, I understand the aggressiveness and you want to be, you're trying to help your team get out of a slump and what have you, but come on, that's right in front of you. You got to be better than that, especially in that situation, in that type of game. You need every single run, and you need it to count.
Soriano dominant early, and he's kind of flown under the radar this season. He was 9-6 with an ERA of just over 3 this season. A lot of that came with the Angels, which is why he was able to remain anonymous. But the Blue Jays got him at the deadline, and he throws very hard. He shut the Sox down until the 5th inning when they finally got on the board.
Breaking ball, swinging a drive out to left field. That's hit a long way, and that baby's gone. Home run, Wilson Contreras, number 24.
Wilson Contreras, homer number 24 over the left field wall to tie it at 1 for Contreras. The 24 homers tied his career high, and that's the way the game stayed for a while. Wilyer Abreu bailed the Sox out in the bottom of the 5th by catching a line drive by Vlad Guerrero and turning it into a double play to get out of a jam. The Sox once again, during the bulk of the evening, trouble getting hits with runners in scoring position. They stranded the go-ahead run on second base in the 6th inning, and then on third base in the top of the 8th. And that came back to haunt them. Bottom of the 8th, the recent run of bad defense popped up again. Vlad Guerrero and Alejandro Kirk started the bottom of the 8th 1-1 game with back-to-back singles off Sox reliever Tyron Guerrero. And you'll remember Fred Guerrero is the kid who you saw live that throws about 102 miles an hour.
And I had never seen anyone hit him before.
Right. Last night, very different. Guerrero, with runners on first and second, got a pop-up by Kaz Okamoto right behind first base. Wilson Contreras goes back and drops the foul ball. If the ball is fair, it's an infield fly. The batter's out. Doesn't matter if he drops it and the runners stay where they are. But it was foul, so he dropped it. Doesn't matter. The hitter stays at the plate, and usually when a situation like that happens, you know what's going to happen next.
Runners at first and second. And a line drive. That's going to drop down into left. Here comes Guerrero Jr. Here comes Duran's throw to the plate, and he dives. He's safe at home. And the runners move up to second and third as Toronto takes a 2-1 lead.
All right, so that put the Blue Jays ahead 2-1, and with runners on second and third, Guerrero intentionally walked Andres Jimenez to load the bases. Ernie Clement came up, and Guerrero couldn't find the place.
2-2 again. And he's going to put him on. That is ball 4, and that'll force in a run. Valenzuela can jog home. Big run there, 3-1.
So it's 3-1, and Guerrero still doesn't have anybody out, and he was taken out after throwing 20 pitches. Miles Straw added a 2-run double later on in the inning to cap a 5-run rally, Dan Roach, and it was 6-1 going to the 9th inning. But before we get to the Red Sox 9th, Tyron Guerrero, you forget, he's just a kid. This is his first extensive look at the majors, and as good as he is, 5 runs given up, 20 pitches, no outs.
Yeah, his velocity was down just a tick, right? So a couple of miles per hour from what Fred saw. That's a big factor. And then you have Contreras, who finally got on track with a home run. You could see it out of the corner of his eye. He was probably thinking that maybe Guerrero was going to try to sneak over from second to third, and he just took his eye off it and dropped it. Then instead of having 2 on, first and second, and 1 out, you've got nobody out, and then the floodgates open after that. It's kind of like what they had experienced on the reverse side of things, and now they're going through this. And it's one of those things that just keeps steamrolling in the game of baseball, and you just got to keep fighting, try to get out of it.
Well,
get out of it soon.
They tried fighting in the 9th inning. The Red Sox made things very interesting, even though they entered the top of the 9th down 5. Adley Rutschman struck out to start the inning, but Wilson Contreras walked. Wilyer Abreu doubled him to third. Chad Durbin, an RBI single to make it 6-2. And this one's just for you, Danny. Jarren Duran at the plate.
1-1 to Duran. Swinging a high fly ball down the right field line. Trying to tuck that one into the corner. And that ball is going to be off the wall. Into score Abreu. Durbin into third. He puts on the brakes. It'll be a double for Duran. And hold the phone for a moment. That'll make it 6-3.
So, and you know what? That hit kept Duran over 200 for the season.
There you go. And that's what you were hoping for, right? That you're thinking, okay, maybe this is the game they do it. Maybe they turn things around and get back on the track because of that momentum, and they get a big run in the 9th inning, they tie it or whatever, they go on to win it.
Facing a weird guy threw a knuckleball 25% of the time. I wouldn't take a lot of. I mean, I'm not positive I couldn't have made contact against that guy.
Then they bring in their closer.
Then they brought in their closer, and then a real pitcher came in, and then it was like, okay.
Yeah, Andrew.
But this is the stuff that happens, right, in baseball that you see. That you have a team that just can't get out of its own way, then they get on track and go on this ridiculous run. Now they can't get out of their own way again. And it's just the way streaks are. It's bizarre.
Andrew Monasterio, a sac fly, made it 6-4. Toronto brings in their closer, Eric Sogard, representing the tying run at the plate.
And a ground ball to the second baseman, Clement. Up and over to beat the Red Sox for a 5th consecutive time. Red Sox lose again here in Toronto. They lost the first 3 games. And are now 3-9 against the Blue Jays. 6-4 the final tonight.
Sox lose their 5th in a row. They still have a 4.5-game lead for that second wild card because everyone behind them lost last night. But 5 losses in a season, unless I'm getting this wrong, is their season high. After winning 31 of 36, everything going the opposite way. Peyton Tolley will start this afternoon as the Red Sox try to avoid a 4-game sweep. So, Dan, let me ask you the question we've asked everybody else, and I'll ask Tom Caron when we have him on later. Which is the real Red Sox team? The Red Sox look god-awful for 2.5 months. They look great for 5 weeks, and now they look god-awful again.
I don't think anybody knows, right? That's the bizarre part of this season. You would think that a team that goes, 32-6 or some ridiculous number would be that type of team if they level off. But we saw the flip side of it the first 2 months where they couldn't get out of their own way. Now they've lost 5 straight. They play. The good thing is they're playing the Jays for the final time this season of the 13 games against the AL East team. So that helps because I think they're 3-9 against Toronto this season. So you get out of that, and then you kind of regroup and hopefully go from there and take off again on the other side. But it's head scratching to watch. But interesting. Alex Spear wrote an article a couple days ago. What's today? 5 days ago about streaks and the way they are.
How did he excuse the losses?
Well, no, he didn't excuse his losses. It was during
Just
the
like
winning
the
streak.
wind.
No,
the wind during the Duran when he missed the ball.
The
left.
gambling thing that I think is interesting, Fred, is that clubs with a 2-game winning streak, the next game have a .516 winning percentage in the following game.
Oh, that's interesting.
But then, so after you win 3 straight, it goes up to .535 the next game, and then after you win 4 straight, it's .551 the next game. So it's the same. Conversely, when they lose, the odds get higher for you to lose again than they are to win in a streak. If you're winning, they get higher when you're winning, and then if they lose, the odds get lower and lower and lower. It's not an easy thing to get out of when it comes to the game of baseball. That's all. That's
well
my
said.
Gambling lesson for today. So, what would you do today? Afternoon game, Peyton Tolley on the mound.
Can't lose every game.
Put everything you got on the Blue Jays. That's what you do because it's a streak.
You face a very angry Paul Skeens on Sunday. They're pulling him after like 60 pitches now, and he does not like it.
Well, his velocity was down his last start, if I remember correctly.
They pulled him, and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
So you'll get an angry Paul Skeens on Sunday. Maybe they'll just let him cook. Maybe they'll just let him throw himself out. They're not playing for anything. But, yes, that game is at a very nice 3 o'clock first pitch for some reason in Toronto. And they don't want him getting out too early.
Nope.
They don't want him heading to Pittsburgh
I know.
too
Why
early.
not noon? Why not the businessman special?
I don't know. And Toronto, seems to have, those AL teams seem to have, noon starts on getaway days. Yesterday, there was, or Monday, there was, games at noon. I don't know why it's at 3 o'clock. It's weird.
That doesn't help.
Must be some Canadian thing, some blue law. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. Oh, yeah, we are Toucher and Hardy. Danny Roach is in for Hardy today. John, what else is going on?
Well, the Patriots, Fred, are going to open up their exhibition season tonight at Gillette Stadium against Indianapolis. The two teams, as everyone knows, went through a joint practice on Tuesday. Milton Williams, for one, grateful for the experience.
Oh, no, it's fun. It's always fun to go against somebody different. You know, you go against your same guys. You know what you're going to work. You know the moves that you've been trying to work. And, it's good to go against somebody else because they don't know what you're trying to work on. And, you get a fresh look on, what you need to continue to get better at.
Milton Williams holding a press conference. It was a little strange, Fred. Most people will walk up with the background and have a microphone in front of them, and they'll stand in front of the microphone and just kind of talk to the people. Milton Williams grabbed the microphone and did the stand-up comedian where he just kind of walked around and answered everybody's questions. Dan Roach, you were there, right?
Does it every time. It comes up, grabs the mic out, it's on a cord, pulls it around, drops the thing, and fly me to the moon.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah, he seems to enjoy it. So.
How's the new facility? The new New Balance
beautiful.
facility.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have a fan above the lockers where you can put your pads to dry them off on a rainy day.
Stretch.
I like how they introduced that like this is some groundbreaking piece of thing. They spent $95 million on this facility, and Stretch is like, oh, you know what? The top board tips forward, and there are fans. There are actual fans. Like this is, no one's ever thought of this. It's really something.
I thought it was cool. I didn't know that they could do that.
I'm surprised they don't do that for hockey players. They're the ones who need those fans because that's all you see is the equipment guys just putting the gloves up onto the different fans to dry them out quickly.
Well, we did a thing one time with the Thrashers where I can't remember how we did it, but they took a bag of old equipment and someone had to get in the bag of old equipment because that hockey stuff is gnarly.
Yes,
that is
really
the worst
bad.
smell in the world is a hockey locker room between periods or after a game. It's awful.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the coolest part of the facility that I've seen is, so let's say you were coming to work today and you guys were offensive linemen. You walk down the hall, you go into the offensive lineman room, and there's rows and rows of comfortable chairs in a room, and then in front of you on the left, you have film clips of what you're doing. You have on the right, you have a board where they can put all the plays on, and then you take that and you're able to just walk outside through another door on the other side of the room into a virtual reality room of a 30-yard football field as wide as a football field. You get into your play as an offensive lineman, and on the big screen in front of you is a defense that's coming at you. So you're able to work on your plays and then go back into the classroom through that door and take a look at what you just did and what you worked on. So it's given everything that the players could ever possibly want in that one facility.
All right, so were they inspired to do this by the surveys that the
that
players
had to be
did?
part of it, right?
So it's a good thing that they have these surveys, because I know the owners wanted to get rid of them. But, I mean, if the owners are reacting to what the players are saying, then the surveys are a good thing.
Right, they worked, right? That's what you want. That's what you want to give them, every comfort you could get.
It's just funny to me that they had to be publicly shamed into this, because it just goes with that Burt thing about owners want to win the Super Bowl, sure, but they want to win the Super Bowl. It's not cool to win it if you spend too much money. Because you would think that if you really wanted to win a Super Bowl, that you would have built this facility years ago. I mean, I know they built it, and I don't mean to rain on the parade, but they, if I knew all this was available
you that way, right?
Yeah, but I knew if we were in need of this for years, and that this would help us win conceivably if they need this virtual reality room and other teams have it. I don't know what took so long.
Yeah, but I think at least from my perspective is that the people that I've talked to, everything that they asked for got
no.
approved.
It's great.
Even the best TV, what do you call them, the bulb, the LED, the little things that came in from China. They paid millions of dollars for to make sure that it was the best of the best. And
you're making no
things
sense.
like that.
No one knows what you're talking about.
Well, just to make it as clear as can be.
What ideas?
The giant TV.
TVs.
So the screen where you watch the play come at you, where you're watching film, just to make it reality. Like when you go out into the when you go out into the
millions of dollars on the thing with the screen.
The gadgets. I don't know what they call them. The little pixels that
they
come
call
up
them
on
gadgets, is what they call them. Well said, and I'm glad they gave you that tour. They gave it to the right guy. They got the stuff from China. The China made from the Orient.
All right, let me give you a time out there, Fred. Everything that they needed, upgraded, the best of the best, groundbreaking is in that facility. Better?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
You
painted with a wider swath on that one.
Yes.
All right. Jim Murray and Chris Gasper have Patriots preview at 4:30. Bob Sosi and Phil Perry, who's going to be on this show in the 9 o'clock hour today, have kickoff at 7:30. Mike Vrabel already told the media Tuesday morning Drake May probably wouldn't play. And Danny, I would assume the same would go for Christian Gonzalez, who missed the joint practice with a minor injury.
I think most or all the ones aren't going to play much, if that, tonight, because the joint practices are there for the reason of getting the ones all the work that they possibly need. And now I think you'll come out and you'll see Tommy DeVito and
that leads me to my next point. We get to see Tommy DeVito. He's expected to get some time as the starting quarterback. And did you know that Tommy DeVito has a new nickname? He's been Tommy Cutlets for all these years, and Mike Vrabel now calls him Tommy Two Chains, and he's good with that.
Yeah, probably my first or second week here, that became the nickname. Originally, he was calling me Cutlets, and then he saw me wearing 2 gold chains that I always have on. I never take them off, and turned into 2 chains. And that's been it, and that's how it is throughout the building now.
I don't know. That
Original.
ruins his entire image. He's been Tommy Cutlets for all these years.
Original nickname, too. 2 Chains.
Tommy Two Chains.
Well,
kind of flows nicely.
Well, there's a rapper named 2 Chains. Even I know that. So they just stole. They might as well call him the Freak or Megatron or something. Tommy DeVito. Apparently, Tommy DeVito's looked very good in camp.
Yes.
He's the real deal.
Where
did he play? Syracuse?
Yeah.
That's why everyone likes him.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense.
Because did you hear about that kid that was in here that was mirroring Mike Reese?
Oh, yes. I was mad at him.
Why?
Because Zach didn't, I've been with him every day down there. He gave me no shout-out whatsoever. It was all, all these other people.
When you say with him, what does that mean?
Well, when he comes into the facility and stuff, he's in that ESPN room with Mike in the morning, and we talk and everything else. And
do you believe that he's been at every camp since he was 3?
I don't know. It was a good statement. So, yeah. I mean,
what's going on with that family? He's won a 6th.
I know.
You can't indulge a child's every whim. You understand that, correct?
Yes, I do.
Like if a 3-year-old goes, I want to go to camp every day, you just go, no. You don't get to say what you do every day. I don't think this is the best. You need to associate with other 3-year-olds. You need to socialize. You need to be in
Maybe that's their thing. Maybe that's like they found it to be like.
Well, I would call into questioning the idea that should be their thing. I need to step in.
Who are we to say?
I don't know. I mean, years of child research, I suppose. You could go talk to someone who's gone over all of that and see how their feelings
Wonder
on
what
it.
that would look like, a study. If a kid went to training camp
I
every
have
day
to
for
imagine there has been some
age
evidence
3.
that, being with your peers and socializing with your peers would be of some benefit to someone who is learning language and socialization skills. But I don't know.
He seems to do quite well. He's in the communication school at one of the best schools in the country.
Well, he's certainly hustling.
Yeah.
You got to appreciate that.
Yeah, he's writing. He's doing all.
Yeah,
he's becoming a little Reese. Although if you're bigger than Reese, you can't be a little Reese, right?
Well, if he wants to be a football reporter, I can't see why he couldn't do that. There's a lot of outlets to do that, and I wish him the best. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Dan has a game for us, so you know it's going to be good stuff. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
To play an exhibition game at Gillette Stadium. It is the opener for both teams. Drake May is not expected to play. Jim Murray and Chris Gasper bring a Patriots preview at 4:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And then Bob Sosey and Phil Perry follow up with the kickoff at 7:30. Daniel Jones won't play for the visitors in this one. That leaves former top 5 pick Anthony Richardson to start. An interesting pair of signings for the Patriots yesterday and last night. They signed a pair of free agent running backs, Hassan Haskins and Jermichael Hasty. In baseball news, the Red Sox lost again 6-4 in Toronto. This is a 1-1 game until Chad Tracy saw the Jays score 5 times off reliever Tyron Guerrero in the 8th inning.
They were able to get some good at-bats on them and put traffic out there. So it's really nothing more than that. A hard ground ball through the middle and then a soft single to right and gets traffic, and you get into a spot and they put some good at-bats on them. It's as simple as that.
Ernie Clement drove in 2 runs. Kaz Okamoto 2 hits and an RBI for the winners. Wilson Contreras a home run for the Red Sox. They've lost 5 in a row. They're 4 behind the Yankees now for the top wild card. They'll try to avoid a 4-game sweep this afternoon. The full NBA schedule will be announced this afternoon. The NBA Cup group play games were announced yesterday. Celtics have home games against Chicago and Atlanta. The road games are at Charlotte and at the Washington Wizards. And the big story in the league yesterday came from L.A. 10 months after he was approved as the new owners of the Lakers after buying the majority interest for $10 billion, Mark Walters sold it to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for $12.5 billion. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Colossal Lobster Rolls at the 99, made with tender North Atlantic lobster with fries and coleslaw, served hot, buttered, or with just the right amount of mayo and celery. You gotta love the 9s. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Deep 3, violent 2-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Dutcher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Never cross a line if you only snort it. If you can't work it, then what's your purpose? On that surface, looks like a circus. All these clowns around, pull the curtain. She looks like she won't meet for certain.
All right, we are Dutcher and Hardy. Danny Roach is in for Hardy today, and that means, ladies and gentlemen, that Dan, as always,
you ready?
Has brought a game. You can watch this all unfold on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. You will be amazed. That's right, Dan. And I can do Dan, too.
Danny.
I can do it, too. All right. So let's hear it for the boy. What are we doing here, Danny?
Now think about it. What day is today? What's going to happen tonight on WBZ?
The start of the football season.
Whose season?
The Patriots.
And what's it called?
Did he call the games on TV?
Yes, he did. How many years?
Did you do play-by-play?
2014 through 2018, I think.
Yeah, he did it for 5 years, and then they started doing the radio TV simulcast with Bob and Zoe, and they forced him out.
Okay, so I've been listening to the Red Sox. I like walking the dog at dusk.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. It's a little cooler.
It is nice.
So I've been walking the dog, and I've been listening to the Toronto feed of the Red Sox games. I really like them.
Does Dan Schulman do it?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't remember if they said their names, but I really do enjoy those guys. I think they're very good. And I remember they said at first that they were going to simulcast the TV on the radio. And when I was listening to it, I'm like, there's no way, because they don't go to like replays and stuff. Like they're talking like it's a radio broadcast. So you can't use a TV broadcast on the radio. They do it sometimes on satellite radio, like on the Major League Baseball network. They'll play like the TV show, and it's horrible. Yes. I mean, there's obviously visual elements that you let play out, or you're describing something visually that people can see.
That's the beauty of radio.
Yeah, right. And it's completely different. Like you're essentially talking.
Dan Schulman, Ryan just.
I thought it was his kid, Ben. But it doesn't matter. Anyway.
Yes. But they're very good.
Yeah.
The radio guys are very
now
good.
Some radios, some teams or some radio stations aren't traveling their play-by-play guys for road games.
I don't know how expensive that could even be.
It can't be bad. You fly with the team, right?
Right.
Stay at the team hotel. What I mean, food, expenses, probably pay whatever per year, but come on.
I mean, that's the kind of thing you start screwing around with, and then you don't have an industry anymore. Like, you have to, I understand cutting costs and stuff, but there comes a point where you have to be a legitimate outlet. Like,
right. It's like, hey, Fred, go get 2 bats, okay? So whenever we're watching the game on TV, crack. That's a line drive single to right field.
Yeah, what movie was that when they did that?
I don't know.
There was a movie where they...
they did that during Bull Durham. They had an old guy at Bull Durham did that.
Right. So, you're like a JV, like minor league... I mean, there comes a point where if you can't afford to do that, then you shouldn't be in this business. Like, I get... You got to cut staff, and there's some things that are automated. Like, I understand the business, but if you don't have a baseball team or a basketball team or a hockey team, if you can't afford to have the announcers travel with the team, someone will pay for it. It's a value to someone. Yes. I know it's not hard to get advertisers. I know that.
That's why Susan Waldman for years, right, at FAN traveled with the Yankees. Like, she went home and away. And wouldn't you get a sponsor, a travel agent to sponsor it? And then other sales things too, and pay for that. That's just to have a correspondent there.
I mean, people want to be associated with 4 major franchises. I mean, 4 major sports. People want to be associated with that.
Especially in this town, in any town, right? It's such a fabric of what you're doing.
Yeah, that can't be overly hard to get people on board.
All
right, but I had to pat it out a little bit because Danny's game's sometimes not so great.
Yes.
Oh boy,
yeah, I know.
But anyway, Dan, you were great at play-by-play, and I think that you should still be doing it.
Thank you, Fred. Very kind of you.
So who's doing it on BZ?
Zoe.
It'll be Zoe and the McCourties are going to
Brian Hoyer on the sidelines.
Right. And Steve Burton. Steve has to be there. But yes, it's Zoe and the McCourties on TV. It's not a straight play-by-play per se. It's like a 3-hour conversation. And then Phil Perry will join Bob Sosi on the radio side during the preseason.
I miss Dan. Now, does Steve Burton make a lot of money, Danny?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Not for this, but
why? What's
in
going on
general,
there?
yes.
What do you got, Fred?
The way you guys talk about him, it seems like he would be very highly paid.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's local TV. Who makes more, you or Steve, Dan?
Oh, by far, Steve.
I think you should make more money.
Yes. If we had a salary cap at WBZ Sports Department, he'd be at 80%.
Well, you essentially do have a salary cap, I'd imagine. You're willing to spend a certain amount of money, but Dan, I'd pay you more than Steve.
Well, thanks, Fred.
I think you're the star.
Thanks, Fred.
That's just the way. Who's been there longer?
Steve by a couple of years.
Yeah.
I was in radio when he was over there.
Maybe they give him the heave ho.
He looks like he needs to retire.
Yeah. Pretty old.
That was John Wallach saying that, not me.
I mean, when you have kids, when your kids are infiltrating the business, it's time to giddy up.
I know.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
everywhere.
He's got one daughter at NBC Sports Boston. He's got another playing professional basketball now.
See, Danny's got a coach in the family, and that's Danny's got that expertise. He's got the family tree. Danny knows what's up. Mm-hmm. He raised kids in sports. You got that.
Yep, get out.
It's a good dad. It's a good dad.
All right, so you ready? So tonight's a big night, so why
see
not?
What I did there? I glazed Dan.
I did see that. It was very impressive, those last 5 minutes.
Let it soak in. All right, go ahead, Ryan. Here we go.
Makes up for...
Gonna play a game to find out what they know about the past down in Foxborough. tonight, the roar of the crowd.
Just moving.
You can picture the scene. Even Johnny Wall game will hear the really loud screams. Here comes a new star who will blow us away. We saw one star rise on this glorious day. So let's start talking, and we just won't stop. Gotta keep on talking about a kid who will make it to the top. To be a preseason hero, a star will arise. Yes, an August hero.
All right.
The answer is F and Chisholm to everything. Oh, sorry.
Make it longer.
Star will arise tonight.
I thought we were done.
No.
My mistake.
No.
We'll be right back.
Why would it end in 5 minutes?
Dan, we can play it again if you like. I apologize.
He couldn't have just started with Training Camp Hero. He had to start with the senseless run-up.
You got to build it. You got to build
There's
it.
people
Come on
staying in
now.
their cars, not going in to get coffees because they want to hear this. All right, you ready?
Yeah, that's
All right.
I'll start with an easy one. Yeah, Fred will get this in a second. For seemingly the entire training camp, this undrafted rookie free agent out of Nevada made highlight catches. He turned a solid exhibition season, 8 receptions for 101 yards and a touchdown, made Pats fans dream he'd be nice company next to Rob Gronkowski.
Is he tall?
Found his way to the field for 3 games with the Pats before being released and claimed off waivers by the
New York Jets?
Yes.
Played 27 games over the course of 2 seasons.
Zach Sudfeld.
Yeah, Zach Sudfeld.
Nicely done.
We were just talking about him a couple of days ago.
Well, he played for the Lions, too. I was at a game where he scored a touchdown for the Lions.
Yeah.
He was a big kid. That's why why'd you go to Nevada? You're so big.
Yeah.
And then you figured it out.
All right, as an
Hands of
undrafted
stone.
Excuse me.
Hands of stone.
Yeah. An undrafted rookie out of Florida A&M in 2012, this gentleman spent time with the San
Florida
Francisco
A&M.
49ers, Miami Dolphins, and Cleveland Browns before coming to the Pats in 2014. He caught 5 passes for 119 yards, including along a 53 and a 26-yard touchdown from Jimmy Garoppolo in the preseason opener against Washington. Then he made a 43-yard touchdown catch from Tom Brady in the regular season, earned a Super Bowl ring, though he was inactive. He now plays, or did play, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Canadian Football League after that.
Oh.
Okay, so Florida A&M sounds like it's a traditionally black school, like
an
Howard,
HBCU.
Right? That's what does that stand for?
Historically Black College and
Okay,
University.
that's
right?
what I was trying to think
Yeah.
of. So HBU, so that Florida A&M's an HBU, isn't it?
I think it is HBCU. Yes.
Or HBC, sorry. So it's a African American gentleman,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's a real outlier.
I have a guess.
Well, I don't have any guess.
Okay. Is it Brian Timms?
2 for 2.
You're just letting Johnny show off here.
No, actually, we were talking about him the other day, too.
I don't remember him at
top
all.
of mind.
I know.
Yeah.
I got Sudfeld. So
I just want you to know that's it. I'm done. So
No, you might get this
whatever
one.
you have from now on.
He played his college ball at Vanderbilt. 49 games, rushed for 4,178 yards, 32 TDs, caught 68 balls for 572 yards and 3 touchdowns, signed as undrafted free agent in 2018 with the Pats. In 26-17 win over Washington, rushed for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then in a 17-12 win over the Giants, ran for 41 yards, adding 4 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown as well.
I don't know.
Vanderbilt running back.
I don't know this one.
He never made the team.
Nope.
I don't know.
You got me. I don't know.
Ralph Webb. You don't remember Ralph Webb?
I do. That's how scary this
All right.
is. I do remember
We'll
this
get
guy.
in and out of here quick. All right, Fred?
I don't know why I wasted all that time asking how much money people made.
In the final season at Northwestern in 2016, this former walk-on wideout had 90 catches for
contest.
1,247 yards and 12 touchdowns. He signed as an undrafted free agent with the Pats in 2017, had a huge preseason, 14 receptions, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, went on to play for New Orleans after the Patriots let him go. Wide receiver.
So 9 years ago, they had a wide receiver that they cut and made, and then he played
was like
for the New
Chisholm.
Orleans.
He was like that kind of player.
He's a little white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, John should know this.
No.
John's very racist.
No. That takes away my guess. My guess would have been Tyquan Underwood, but that's not right.
No. Sounds like Tar. Sounds Par.
No.
Austin.
Carr.
Yeah. Ready.
Yeah, I don't remember.
All right, last one. You ready?
Yeah.
Stun the crowd with a magnificent 86-yard touchdown scamper against the Carolina Panthers.
I know this one. I got this
Who
one.
Who is it?
I got this one. It's Danny Etling.
And you want a bonus treat?
Sure.
Go ahead.
First and 10 for Danny Etling and company, who fakes the handoff, is going to run 20, 25, right side 30, 35, 40. Look at him on his feet into Giants territory, 30, 25, 20. Look at Danny Etling. Touchdown, Patriots. Wow. Danny Etling putting on a show here in the second half. He knocked over a Giants defender earlier in the second half. But on that play, he goes 86 yards with the fake handoff. The Patriots bench is in an uproar.
All right, so Danny Etling, third-string quarterback, oddly enough, didn't make the team, but we discussed this on air. Etling decided he was going to try and be a wide receiver after a while. And I remember you asking me on air, what is his 40 time? And I said, looked it up, it was 4.75, and we both looked at each other like, he's not going to be an NFL wide receiver, with a 4.75 40. And oddly enough, he never made it as a wide receiver.
John remember that?
I don't know. They took a chunk of his brain out, too, and now he's still remembering all these things.
I know.
That's right.
I mean, this guy's had his brain operated on.
Yeah.
They took stuff out of his brain, and he still remembers all this stuff. You remember an on-air conversation about that.
Yeah,
I only remember
about a
bad
40
things.
time.
Yep.
I only remember when things aggravated
It was a
me.
4.7 40, Danny Etling.
What was your favorite moment on the air?
My favorite moment ever on the air?
Yeah.
For this show or total?
For this show, maybe.
For this show.
The Toucher and Hardy show?
Well, you could go even more general if you want. You take it and run with it, Fred. It's like Etling. Go.
I don't know.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back.
No,
Fred's thoughts.
Charlie Sheen, far and away, for me.
Oh, on the air?
Yeah, Charlie Sheen.
Were you here for Charlie Sheen?
I was not here.
You were not in studio.
Not in studio, but, I mean, we replayed it all of the next morning. I mean,
Well, they didn't want us to.
no, I remember that was a whole thing, but Sheen was fantastic. That was 2011.
The best moment was not on the air was the parade, being in the parade
Yes.
for the Bruins. That was great. That was very nice of them to let us do. The station especially, but I don't think Beasley would have let us do that. That was CBS Radio let us do that. I think Beasley, they would have taken it for themselves.
My best radio moment was being at the BZ AM radio and being on the air describing what was going on. I was at the country club in Brookline when Justin Leonard sank that putt on 17. I think the United States just won the cup.
Yeah. Sheen. Sheen's the answer.
That was fun. I'm trying to think what made me laugh the hardest. Maybe the first time we had Chili Guy on was the hardest that I've laughed.
Pasta Guy was good.
Pasta Joe?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's Nick doing? He's walking around. He's pacing. Why is he pacing?
He's just stretching his legs.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. You were pacing around. I didn't know what you were doing back there. He needs headphones now. Give him a second. He moves. Look, now he's talking to Ryan. Now he's untangling his headphones.
That's right. Ryan, our
He still
intern-
doesn't have his headphones on. Now he put them to the side. Now he's putting the cord out.
Walked away.
Now he's coming in. Nope. Now he just walked over and got his backpack.
What is going on?
I don't know. He's opening his backpack.
Speaking of play-by-play, here's
He's
Fred.
He's got his hand in his backpack.
Wow!
He just took out a adapter for his headphones. He plugged his headphones in. Now he's got his headphones out, and now he's got his headphones on his head. Now his mic's on.
Sorry, what's up?
Well done, Nicholas. Johnny on the spot. I've never seen anyone move slower than Nick, and that's not a lie. You have to admit that was impressively slow.
Yes.
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 There was no...
Very nicely done.
No,
hurry up. I got to grab the headphones. And Fred's talking to me.
Yeah, even Dan's a little amazed. This is not shtick.
Scared Nick this morning.
Why? How?
He was standing where Ryan was doing something, and I stopped in the window and just stared at him until he turned.
Oh, yeah, you had your unit pressed against the window.
He came walking out the door, and I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, Dan does a
legitimate
bunch.
scare.
Before
No,
the show
no,
starts,
don't go
Dan loves ball tricks.
Yes.
He has fruit salad.
No shooting the breeze
grandma's
today.
tongue.
Nope.
He loves it. He
By the
does
way,
them all.
John, you can hear the game 7 o'clock pregame show and 7:30 kickoff tonight on BZ.
Well, you turn down the TV and you play the radio feed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. As long as you have it on.
As
Sure.
long as you have
Watch
it on,
the
it don't
pregame
matter.
show starting at 7. I'll be there. with
Everyone
my
gets the
buddy
slice
Mike
of the
Grace.
pie.
And of course, the highlight is Steve Burton's halftime interview, as it always is.
All right. Well, Nick, if you ever want to go to HR about Dan's behavior, feel free.
Okay, will do.
Good job, Nick.
Wow. Betrayal.
All right. We will be back. Mike Lombardi. I call me obsessed, and you will be correct. Pablo Torre had a writer from the Athletic, a college writer from the Athletic on, and it's just funny because sometimes a guy is what he is. There's no getting around it. You can tell, but when they speak, doth protest too much. You have to remember, Mike Lombardi was on Felger and Maz and was like screaming and yelling about them about how dumb they were for questioning anything and how smart he was. And anytime I hear that, my antenna goes sky high. That kind of angry arrogance towards someone. You better be on point. You better have a lot going on upstairs. The genius to a-hole ratio has got to get, there's a diagram, and you better be a genius
I had breakfast
if you're
with Mike
behaving like
Lombardi
that.
one day.
Oh, yeah?
At an airport, at a random airport.
Were you impressed by the man?
He was very nice.
Oh, yeah? He was nice to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You have something to offer him?
No.
Nice like a happy idiot?
Just happy. You know what I mean? Seemed like a good guy. And
What did Belichick, he just finished Belichick off or something? What'd you guys have for breakfast? Cinnabon? All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
I seen your picture. Your name in lights above it. This is your big debut.
You know, one of the two guys that were the main guys in Steely Dan, one of them, crippling heroin addict.
Is that Donald Fagen?
No, the other guy.
Oh, okay.
The guy that looked like he was the Unabomber, basically.
I don't know the name of that guy, but I know who you're talking about.
I mean, he didn't have a beard. He just looked like he would be capable of very bad things. The reason we play Peg, you know why?
Nope.
Peg by Steely Dan is because we're going to talk about Mike Lombardi. Because the thing would be that he would be getting pegged by Bill.
Oh.
All right, so Mike Lombardi, who had lunch or breakfast at an airport with Danny Roach.
He was waving for the camera. It wasn't for anyone in the hallway.
Yeah, I know. That was just confusing for a moment.
YouTube, Fred. You plug YouTube. Saying I.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just, if you watch on YouTube, you can see him wave. So Mike Lombardi was, he has worked in the NFL, but it's interesting because Mike Lombardi says that he worked in the front office of the 49ers in the early to mid 80s. But what's interesting about that is Bill Walsh's kid says he would get hot coffee, that he was basically an intern. And I don't even know if he was paid in that position. But and then he goes and puts Super Bowl rings up when he talks at places when he's hired to speak under the guise that he won these Super Bowl rings. And then it came out that Belichick gave him the rings, that he wasn't given the rings by the teams. So he puts up, he's basically a swindler, a con artist. He'll do these speaking engagements under the guise that he's this multi-Super Bowl champion winner. And they were just gifts from a friend, like for whatever. Like there's no assigned role, right? Like it wasn't like a player or a member of the staff. He was given a ring. I mean, I'm sure Belichick could give Jordan rings, if they would give a ring for 12th place in the ACC. Then Mike Lombardi gets the job as he sits out because he's fired from every job. He gets the Cleveland GM job. He's fired in a year, which getting fired as a GM in a year is really something. I don't know what you got to do. I mean, that's got to be behind the scenes stuff to get fired from there. So then he goes and he does this purgatory of media where he just screams at everyone that says anything not even bad about Belichick, but suggests anyone should get a job in the NFL ahead of Belichick. He just carries Belichick's water in such a way where, first of all, he was on Felger and Maz, and he's like screaming. See if you can find that audio of him on Felger and Maz, if you could. I mean, I know Nick's on it. He's walking around back there. He's doing the YouTube. Don't worry about it, Nick. We'll see if Ryan can do it. But he was on Felger and Maz. He's like screaming and yelling at him about how stupid they are. And I heard that, and I went, wait a second. This guy's a dick. And then everyone, I haven't heard one person say anything good about the guy. He carried Belichick's water, and then now he's making $1.5 million being the GM of the North Carolina program.
Which is far and away, he's far and away the highest salaried person at his position in the country. Not even close.
Well, I mean, it's a made-up new position. I mean, and, he went in saying it was the 33rd NFL team, and what do? They're an unmitigated disaster the first year of UNC football. Now Steve Belichick is out on some medical thing. Lombardi's suspended. The whole program, you know everything that's going on with Belichick. I don't know why anyone would let their kid or want their kid to play there. I don't know why any kid would want to play there. It's just a disaster. And this is from The Athletic.
The guy's name is Bruce Feldman, who is their college football expert. He's the guy, has been covering college football for a while.
So Bruce Feldman is on our friend Pablo Torre Finds Out, a Pulitzer-winning podcast, where they actually do deep dive investigations. And here's what the guy had to say about Lombardi.
You have a line in your recent column for The Athletic that I thought really summarizes the Mike Lombardi experience.
Arrogance plus incompetence, a devastating combination to...
And by the way, give me a little credit for seeing that. I don't even know Mike Lombardi. And arrogance and incompetence. When someone is yelling and screaming and carrying the water for someone and they're against all logic or any kind of social norms, it raised a red flag. And I'm convinced that Mad Dog would have him on once a week because he knew the rest of the show would just be people calling up making fun of him. He was like a clown, like a jester that he would have on. It was like Crackhead Bob or Hank the Drunken Dwarf. Like he would have him on as like a sideshow, like a whack pack guy, and then people would just call in reacting to him. And Lombardi was doing it sincerely. He's like so dumb. You just be careful of that in your own lives. When people start yelling and screaming about how smart they are and how dumb you are, and then you go like, wait a second, let's see how smart this guy is. Oh, he's an idiot. Okay, well, that makes sense. His defense mechanism is to scream and yell and yell it to tell me how dumb I am. Yes, yeah, let me hear this. Let me get all angry.
So is Bill going to come back? Is he going to win?
I think he will.
And
I'll come back on your show and we'll talk
Let's
about it.
Let's do it.
And you can have the form that you have, and you can have that eraser with your pencil. I see you got a big one over there, so that you can correct yourself when you're wrong. Geniuses with eraser are the best part of life.
Michael, I honestly love, because I've been saying this. I
had no idea I was getting into this either.
This
is the best part about it. You ordered the co-red on Belichick.
I've been waiting to hear from Bill. I've been waiting to hear from Bill.
He's not going to talk to you. Why would he spend 5 minutes talking to you?
I know that.
Why would he spend 5 minutes talking to you? You have no idea about anything, and he's going to lower himself to you. And, I got to talk to Fegler because he was the almighty God.
F-E-L, Felger.
Yeah. Why would he lower himself and talk to you? As this guy that I know, this brilliant, like he's, Jesus or something. Why would he lower himself to talk to you? Shut the F up, you dork. All right, here we go.
Arrogance plus incompetence, a devastating combination to, I don't know if you'd say Bill Belichick's legacy, because that's the NFL. He's the greatest coach. He has all the Super Bowl rings. This is a different animal in college football, right? We saw this with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer won 3 national titles in college football. He went up to the NFL. It was a disaster. It almost feels like, as I've watched this play out and talked to people around there, like Lombardi is sabotaging this. How could we screw this up worse? The guy who Bill Belichick took over for at North Carolina, Mac Brown, really good college coach. He maybe stayed a little too long, but he won a national title at Texas. They fired him, after like 7 years in his second term at North Carolina. They were never this bad. they're the laughing stock of college football right now for a lot of what you said. But then it's Lombardi, and what Lombardi really cuts at is the roster and what you get to put on the field and why that's so critical. And the arrogant piece of it is coming in thinking he knew better than all these people who've worked in college football for a long time. I go back to this one line I had heard last year from somebody who'd worked there, was like him kind of lecturing somebody going, you don't know what it takes to play in the National Football League. Even just saying it, the National Football League, just sounds completely arrogant and self-indulgent, right? But
you would think that if you had been fired the amount of times that he'd been fired, that you would be at least open to like new ideas. Or if you were taking a job in a field that you had no knowledge of, college football, that you would be all ears, that you'd want to be absorbing as much information as possible.
You know, it's funny because when you said that the first thing that went through my mind was when I was listening there is like, go in with humility. That's the first thing to do. And then the second thing to do is call everybody you know in the college football industry and say, this is what we're trying to do. Your thoughts. This is what we're trying to do, John. Your thoughts.
That would be the smart thing to do,
right?
When you've never done something before.
Bill Belichick has a PR person that's his 24-year-old girlfriend who's cheerleads for fun. And then, so with no experience and no kind of media savvy, and it's just completely torpedoed that, almost like she's sabotaging him, which we've discussed. I mean, it's very hard. And I've dealt with them. CBS this morning, when they were doing the thing on Mike Gorman, Harry Smith called. I talked to him. Like, it was just, tell me how great he is. This is the greatest. It's Sunday morning television. They are not looking to poke the bear. They want you to wake up and feel good, and it's good stories, da-da-da-da-da. Believe me, it's just in my small little time speaking with CBS this morning, it was all, they were not trying to dig anything up. And that's the strategy of the show, as you know, Dan, being in television. Sunday morning.
And watching it.
Yeah, Sunday morning, they're not trying to, like, really get you going. So the idea that she screwed that up is almost like it was sabotage. Like, you know, you have to understand how hard it would be to get them to do a hit piece on you. Like, you'd have to have pissed them off to such an ungodly degree that they felt like there was no other way to go with the interview. And the interview would have had to have been so bad that they were like, the only way we can salvage this is if we call attention to, like, how chaotic his life is. So he has that going on. When he was with the Patriots, he hires a defensive coordinator and a special teams guy to run their offense. And then when he goes to college, he takes his two kids, and at least his kids have coached with him before, and takes a guy that's never been in college football, puts him in a position to run the whole thing. And he takes a guy that won't listen to anyone and just goes, I know what's going on. Like, that's on Bill a little bit too. You just took a friend of yours that carried your water, and you're rewarding him and letting him run something he has no business running. And he's just going to go around and tell everyone how stupid they are. And they're going to keep the Patriots out of the... Yeah. They're like, the Patriots can't come and scout this team. And you're like, okay, well, no one got drafted.
Flag, right?
And no one from that team got drafted. And I don't know if any of their kids were even undrafted free agents that, like, that got onto a training camp roster. That's how bad it was. I mean, you're not in position. There's 32 NFL teams. You're not in position to be telling your kids that one of them is out.
You can't close a door when you promise to get these kids. The reason they're going to North Carolina is not to be belittled by you. It's to have you prepare them for the next step.
Right.
And you are shutting a door on them to be drafted?
Because the whole sales pitch at that point would be like, look, we're not going to win. Yes. Like, I can't promise you we're going to win.
But
like
I know ACC. What it takes. Follow my lead.
But what I can tell you is that I can get you into the NFL.
And I can teach you the game and make you better from day one until day 200.
And prepare you for when this process starts to get you in position to shine the best. Like, I can school you on how to handle the whole pre-draft process. I know all this stuff. But by the way, one of the 32 chances you have is gone. So take the draft and minus one out of it, one team out of it. So a pick around.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one pick around, don't worry about it because they won't draft you because they're not allowed in.
Them watch you.
Yeah, we're not going to let you talk to them.
The fact that he said it in that tone and in that context, that person may not know what it takes to play in the National Football League. But that person knows way more about what it takes to be a good college football player. And that's the world you're in. And until you reconcile that, you're going to be a detriment to your boss.
That unearned arrogance. Like, Bill could be arrogant as a football coach if he just surrounded himself. But, I mean, Bill even sabotaged his own career by being too much of a dick. It just, no one wanted to deal with him anymore. I mean, you win 6 Super Bowls, you can't get a job in the NFL, you can't get a major college coaching job. You have to settle for North Carolina, a basketball school in the ACC, which shouldn't be a Power 5 conference probably anyway. Oof. Anyway, I just like hearing it. I like hearing it. Everything come back. Makes me feel good.
But it makes you think about life. It really does. It's like, I know I don't want to get all big picture on you, but you need trusted advisors. You need people that you can count on that know what they're doing around you to succeed.
Oh,
you
it's
you
every
know?
fable.
Yeah.
Like, it's the hubris of the king gets him and then he ends up a pauper. And, like, yeah, it's every ancient fable. It's every story of the Bible. It's like
crazy.
Yeah, it's pride.
But it's not hard.
Yeah.
Right? But then it gets hard for these people.
What's the saying? With the pride comes the fall, or
Yeah.
like something like that. Like it's what
Lion King, right?
Yeah, it's from the Lion King. One of the ancient texts of the Lion King. Absolutely. All right, so we'll leave it at that. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline.
Patriots begin their preseason tonight. They'll face the Indianapolis Colts at Gillette Stadium. Jim Murray and Chris Gasper have Patriots preview beginning at 4:30. Bob Sosi and Phil Perry follow with the kickoff at 7:30 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The 2 starting quarterbacks, Drake May and
John says, John, not John Wallach, but John says Lombardi equals Fred. Arrogance plus incompetence is Fred in spades. F.Y. Felger is a nobody, and so are you. John, thank you. You made me feel about 3 feet high.
cut you to the quick.
And then he sent it again, so he didn't know if it went through the first time.
Oh.
It went through.
All right.
Yeah, it went through. That's okay. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Because he insulted Felger more than he said Felger's nothing, too.
I got to talk to Felger.
I think in the mind of the person...
He can't even read. It says Felger and Maz all over that place, and he can't read it.
I think specifically in the mind of the emailer, after he has cut you, or I assume it's a he has cut you to the quick like this, you're supposed to curl up in the fetal position and be unable to complete the show.
I do think of that when I talk about the arrogance, but I am in my own brain. To my mind on the show, I admit I'm wrong all the time. And I've talked about my failings consistently. I mean, look no further if you're going on a date with me than Googling me to figure out that I've had my own problems. I feel I've been fairly open about those things. I don't have a wall up of like I'm great and I'm not going to let you know anytime I slip up, and it's all going to be focused on you, and I'm going to repel everything back at you in this way of telling you that you suck and that I'm great. That is, I think I've referred to myself self-deprecatingly enough to differentiate myself from someone like a Belichick or a Lombardi, especially a Lombardi. I've never had the success of a Belichick. That's why his fall is so interesting. The Lombardi thing is he's just an arrogant idiot that held a guy's water for long enough to get a job. But, I mean, listen, if you can't see the difference, if I've ever heard Lombardi say anything self-deprecating about losing a job or fessed up to not knowing something, no. I've just heard him say, I know more than you, which is nonsense. He doesn't know more than anyone. Go ahead, John.
We talked about the epic disaster that North Carolina is, and Lombardi's like Belichick's most trusted advisor, and he is actively torpedoing him, much like his girlfriend is, whether they mean to or not. I'm wondering how Steve Belichick feels. Steve Belichick was the defensive coordinator for the University of Washington, and by all accounts did a really good job out there. He was on his way. And you figure if you're a good defensive coordinator in a Power 4 conference, especially when your school isn't necessarily constantly at the top of that conference, back when the Pac-12 was a conference, I mean, now he is where? in his career.
Well,
What? Yeah, he gets to go work with his dad, and I understand family, but do you think Steve had hesitations before he got there, and especially after he got there?
Well, I know. We all know, based on news and some other stuff, that Steve Belichick's family's not overly impressed with Bill.
His wife. I
So,
forgot
like,
about that.
or certainly Bill's girlfriend. So the thing is that, but who knows what the family dynamic is there? Who knows, like, what issues are going on? You know, it's impossible to go, like, why did you go work for your dad? Because I'm not in that family. Like, I don't know how his childhood was or what's going on with his relationship with his father. Like, both boys went and worked with Bill. Like, he quit his job to go work with his dad again at a lesser school. I mean, Oregon could win the national championship this year. They probably should.
But my point is, he worked with his dad with the Patriots, was an assistant coach under his dad with the Patriots. I think he coached the safeties, was it? Right? So, Steve, having worked for his dad, you know, and grew up around him for 6, 7, 8, 9 years professionally, finally gets a chance to go out on his own and you find out that it's not just a family name. He's actually good at what he does. And then instead of continuing that path.
No, I get it, John. I just don't know. It's his dad, and I don't know what their relationship's like. I don't know. Like, your dad has a lot of sway on you.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to get a phone call from your dad at that point.
But beyond,
and
like,
say,
just
come work with me.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, how he was raised and what the whole, like, psychology of that whole thing is. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't, you know, it's the kid's dad. Like, there's a million Freudian things and stuff that goes into all that stuff. I don't know the power that his dad has over him.
On a football level, they always seem good. Any of the interactions I saw, and speaking with Steve,
I've never heard anything terribly bad about either of those kids, Steve or Brian, and I've heard only really good things about Brian. So I don't know. I mean, everyone seems to like them a lot more than they like their dad. I'd never badmouth the kids, and I'm not going to badmouth them now. And
he's on medical leave too, right? So
yeah,
hope everything's all right there.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, I'm sure everything will be fine. But the thing is that I can't get into either of their heads. I feel bad for them. I mean, you know, none of this is good for them. Like, I've never said anything bad about either of them because I've never heard anything bad about them. Anything like real, like anything that I felt was like that they were being dicks or like they were being like out of control. Like, I don't care what they did in high school or something. This is like in their professional career. I haven't heard them mistreating anyone. So that's the thing. That's why I'm so hyper on Belichick and Lombardi's, because they were such a-holes. And everyone just like, and I understand why, but everyone treated them like they were like, they were, especially Belichick, that he could do whatever he wanted. And like, you know, and I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's right. I think that you should have to treat people with a little bit of dignity, behind the scenes, or you kind of get what you have coming. It's nice to see comeuppance coming is the only thing. That's all. All right. Look, shooting the breeze. Danny loves it. When Dan's here, he loves it because he loves the fellowship with the people. And this is like the time in church where they go, hey, go greet your neighbor. Go say hello. And that's what you do is you call in 617-779-0985, 617-779-0985. You call in and there's no agenda.
Right. Talk about the Pats. Talk about the Sox.
Sure. Anything you want to talk about.
Disney.
Sure. Anything. Dan's here. John's here. I'm here. Yes, John.
The great thing about our listeners is a lot of them have listened to this show and the previous show for a long time, and they understand what's coming. Even though we hadn't announced it was going to happen, the fact that Dan was here, I have a couple of emails here that were sent to me in anticipation of it happening.
Well, have them call in.
Yeah.
I need them to call in.
Yeah.
I don't need them to email. I need them to call 617
Right. We can break down the wide receivers if they want to.
0985. Call in and get into Shooting the Breeze. This is small town America. This is sitting on the porch with a nice glass of
Cape
lemonade.
League?
Right.
Talk about that.
Rack and Dack. This is sunset on the Cape. Just sitting out there on a lawn chair watching the game.
There you go. Nice, Fred.
You know, talking about what's going on, asking questions.
Fog gonna roll in tonight, Chatham?
Yeah,
Maybe.
figuring things out, man. There's no agenda. You do what you want. Shooting the Breeze coming up with our friend Danny Roach.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sport.
both teams. Drake May not expected to play for the Patriots. Our coverage begins at 4:30 here on your flagship radio station for the Patriots, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jim Murray, Chris Gasper, and Patriots preview. Then it'll be kickoff with Bob Socci and Phil Perry at 7:30. Tommy DeVito is expected to be the starting quarterback for the Patriots. Anthony Richardson will go for the visitors. The Red Sox losing streak is now 5 in a row. They were beaten up in Toronto again last night, 6-4. Sox got a solo homer from Wilson Contreras in this one and went to the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 1, but Tyron Guerrero allowed 5 runs and he didn't get anyone out in that inning, and a rally in the 9th came up short. Even worse, there's injury news. Garrett Whitlock has elbow inflammation that kept him from pitching in the close game last night.
He's was down. He's dealing with a little bit of inflammation in his elbow, so we got to check in and see where we're at there.
And that could require an IL.
We got to see. Got to see how he responds, how he feels tomorrow, and we'll go from there.
That is Chad Tracy. He'll start Peyton Tolley today in the finale of this 4-game series. The NBA announced the NBA Cup group play games yesterday. Celtics have home games against Chicago and Atlanta and road games against Charlotte and the Washington Wizards. The full schedule will be announced at 3 p.m. this afternoon. And the Little Leaguers from Bridgewater, Massachusetts play Gray, Maine in the New England Regional Final tonight in Bristol, Connecticut. The winner advances to the Little League World Series. Gray, by the way, beat Canton, Massachusetts in the final in 2023. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Right now, during the Beat the Summer promotion, Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the cost of a new roof. Call East Coast Metal Roofing and never replace your roof again. 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh yeah, Dan's excited. He's been reviewing his Patriots. He's got a notebook full of handwritten notes that he's written himself at the Patriots practices. He's got those all lined up. He works hard. I've been very complimentary to you, Danny.
I know. Why? What's the matter?
Well, I'm feeling good vibes with you.
Oh, okay, good.
But it's time to put a dent in those and we'll build you back up.
No, it's just, if someone calls with something not
So I saw that you texted Ryan and Nick.
How do you know that?
Because Nick
Come
sent
on,
me a
you
text.
guys.
Nick knows where the...
Yeah, thanks,
Nick's my
Nick.
guy.
Thanks, Nick.
Nick knows he can move as slow as he wants. It doesn't matter.
Would you tell him to hang up on everybody?
He said take only nice, positive, happy people that want to talk socks, pats, Disney, Cape Leak, etc.
That was what we did the last time.
No, we didn't.
Which I'm sure was very sincere
Thanks,
on
Nick.
his part. All right, let's get to it. Let's not screw around any longer.
Feel like shooting the breeze?
Zoe and I have been shooting the shit here. 617. Hey, dump it.
I figured you would have kicked me out. You would have kicked me out 2 years ago. I don't know why I'm kicked out this year. But I'm not in the fantasy league.
Want us to investigate?
It hurts I wish I was in the fantasy league. I enjoyed it. I didn't know I was getting kicked out. I kind of wish I was.
One text can solve this problem if you'd like me to do it.
I'm curious about why I was kicked out of the league.
All right, I'll text during the next break.
I am curious.
Okay.
I mean, it's I understand. It's not like I'm mad about it, but I'm just curious. Like I was, I enjoyed being in it. I tried.
Mm-hmm.
I tried. I did my best. I understood getting kicked out of the baseball league because I wasn't very on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
The football
But no, you've
league,
been on football with Dave Richard and everything else that we do.
and Dave Richard wants to get paid now. And we've been on with him since 2009. And with fantasy football is becoming just a business. They're kicking me out of leagues. Dave Richard wants to get paid. Everyone is, it's become it's not amateur anymore. It's like college football. It's become a whole thing. But yes, Jonathan, to be honest with you, it's been bothering me.
All right.
It's been sincerely bothering me. I
After we
don't know
finish,
why it happened.
After we finish this segment, I will text.
I don't know what I did.
Keep this conversation going right here.
I don't know what
That's right. We're taking time away from
How
Dan
do you
here.
feel about that?
I feel hurt, and I don't know why. I feel confused. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. That's what I'm confused. I don't know what I did to warrant getting kicked out now. Like I could have seen a couple years ago getting kicked out. I don't know what I did to get kicked out.
John will get on it.
All right. You go. You guys go. I'll text. Go ahead.
Yeah, just be like, why'd you kick Fred out of the league?
Yeah.
And if he goes like, I had a friend that wanted to be in it and we didn't have any room, I'll understand.
Yep.
But then I'll say, why didn't you kick John out? If they kicked you out, I'd understand.
Okay.
All right. This is Shooting the Breeze, 617-779-0985. You just call in. It's like Mom and Pa America. It's like get into the convenience store. Getting a coffee at the local coffee shop and just talking to Mom and Pa America. And look at who's on. But our friend Adolfo Gonzalez, who's 40 years old. Adolfo, hello. Adolfo.
I don't think this is Adolfo.
This isn't Adolfo?
This is not Adolfo, no.
Okay, well, it's the line that says Adolfo. All right,
Interesting.
who are you?
This is Tyler. I actually wanted to ask Danny Roach about, he said he's open to talking about the wide receivers, breaking them down. I want to hear what he thinks about the relationship between A.J. Brown and Drake May, and also, speaking of breaking down the wide receivers, how hung he thinks A.J. Brown is.
I think they've worked really hard together, Drake May and
Interesting choice of
A.J.
words.
Brown. I think it's been a developing relationship. A couple weeks ago, A.J. said he was 90% into the playbook. Feels like he's up to speed on it now. It was fun to watch the battles between Christian Gonzalez and A.J. Brown so far in camp. Been good stuff.
Have you seen A.J. Brown
Gonzalez
naked?
come out of his shell? I think the two of them have battled, so it's been a good
Because you're in
start.
the locker room.
I think
Are
looked
they
good the
often
other day.
nude?
They'll be fine. I think they looked good the other day, too. So,
What percentage of the players are nude?
None so far in training camp because we see them outside, so it's nice.
Okay.
Okay.
But they do get nude.
I'm sure everybody does in life, Fred.
Crash got kicked. You're smart not to talk about that because Crash was never allowed back in the locker room again because he talked to Adelius Thomas, and Adelius Thomas was naked, and he just started cracking up because he was naked and he was a large man.
Oh, gotcha.
Summer breeze. Feel like shooting the breeze?
All right. There you go. You want to talk to a girl?
Sure.
Julie, hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
Hey, so just so you know, there is absolutely zero call screening. I was not asked at all what I was going to say.
That's shooting the breeze, Julie. No,
Yeah,
we
you're
don't
right.
need to know what you're
Free
gonna
form,
say.
baby.
It's free form. You go
All
for
right.
you.
Yeah, anyway. No, there's nothing offensive in this comment. So,
I don't
so
like
Danny,
that.
sorry, I that's not my MO. I can't. So anyway, Danny, I live in Newport, and I live in walking distance to Cardines Field, the home of the Gulls.
Oh, yeah.
It's a collegiate league. I forgot the name of the league, but so we go. It's fabulous, and have you been?
I have been to a Gulls game. I've heard they're fantastic.
I've been to a Gulls
Have
game,
you?
Julie. Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have been.
Okay.
Yes.
How often do you go?
This year we started going more often. I mean, not a ton of times, but we went to their playoff game about 2 weeks ago. They lost to the Bristol Blues, Bristol, Connecticut. But anyway, it's a cool old field. It's older than Fenway. It looks older than Fenway. So
You can just
it's fun
walk
to go
in,
to.
too. They don't even ask for tickets.
Well, I guess in later innings maybe, but it's if you don't walk in, hold on to your wallets. It's $5.
Okay. Well, there you go.
$4 for me because I'm a senior citizen. So
Well, they pass the hat around, too.
Julie, no wonder you're a big fan of Dan's as a senior citizen female.
I am a retired librarian, senior citizen. I am.
Oh, man, that's wheelhouse
Thank you,
right
Emma.
there.
Julie, you are the best. Stay on the line as long as you'd like right now.
All right, Julie,
It's
thank
all
you.
good, Julie.
Julie, we're not going to get
Julie,
anything
you're what
from you.
America is all about.
Julie, be the librarian that takes her glasses off and lets her hair down and really let Dan
Julie,
have it.
don't let Fred
nature.
get to you, Julie. Don't let Fred get to you.
All right, thank you.
That's got to be a different librarian.
Yes.
Anyway,
All right.
Go
you ever
Gulls.
come to Newport?
Yep.
All right, there you go.
Thank you very much.
I've heard. I've
That's the
actually
best
been
call
there.
of the
I've been
day.
where you haven't. Stupid.
It's shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze.
Joey, hello, Joey.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good
How
morning.
you doing, Dan?
Good, Joey. How are
Dan,
you?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Great, thank you. Big
So
day.
listen, Well, I can't wait for tonight.
Yep.
Big Patriots fan. I'm a
fun.
homer.
Attaboy.
But listen, we're the same age, and we have adult children now. But remember when the kids were younger and the wife would pack them up and leave the house and we'd have the house alone? Remember that feeling we got?
Yeah.
If you could have bottled that feeling, we'd be millionaires if we sold it. But anyways, I wanted to ask you, like, what was your routine, your procedure once you had the house alone? Did you put the silk bathrobe on, get the Calgon bath going, the rose petals out? Or did you just go right to the computer and start treating yourself right? And Dan, what was your max? Like, what were the most rounds you ever went with the clown once you had the house home alone? And any advice you can give to the young fathers out there?
Dan, that's a good question from Joey.
The young clowners? Is that what he said?
When you were a young married man with kids, and then your wife and the kids left, and you knew you would have freedom to pleasure yourself, what's the most, as an adult man, that you went in a day?
Put the shorts and the hat on, T-shirt.
Whatever gets you
out,
going.
Keep score, watch a ball game, relax. That's what you do. Okay?
So it would be the ball game? Would it be once an inning? Because that would be impressive. Adolfo.
Yes, I'm back. Hi.
Hi, Adolfo.
Happy birthday, Adolfo.
Hello. Oh, thank you. That was about a month ago, but thank you anyway.
You're welcome.
Hey, so, Rochi, so you go to Disney a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
How often do you go?
Once a year, basically.
Once a year. So you travel down there a lot, huh?
Yep.
Have you ever, raw dog it?
I don't know, but it was
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm very curious if Adolfo knows what that means.
I don't know. He just.
Oh, he hung up? I wanted the
I
explanation.
hung up on him. I don't know.
Is that about Pluto?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I like it, though.
Adolfo Gonzalez, master of the skies.
Yeah. Disguising English, apparently.
Yeah, Nick found that's the original theme to Adolfo, Master of Disguise from 2007.
Wow.
You play that again. This is Adolfo in 2007, so he was like 20.
Adolfo Gonzalez, master of the skies.
It's Master of Disguise, but he says the skies.
I thought he said disguise. I thought that's what he said.
It's disguise, but it sounds like the skies to me.
So he's a pilot.
Absolutely. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Fred, I was just curious if you had any comments on what transpired yesterday from a former employee of the station and former linebacker. He did have some interesting things to say. I didn't know if you had some time to shoot the breeze about it.
So I see on the call screen you're talking about Ted Johnson, because I saw that Mike Thomas put a video up of Ted Johnson saying that he had it with former afternoon hosts at WEEI.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know who he's talking about? Because we don't. We talked about this off the air. I don't know who he's talking about. Is it Ordway?
I believe he went after a few folks. I think it's Jerry Thornton might be.
Okay. What's he mad about? I don't even know what he's mad about. I know it's about Belichick, but I don't know specific. I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to WEI, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't either. I saw the video, but what I'll say is this: is that I like Ted a lot, and I get along with him, and we have some things in common. And if he's pissed at someone, that's great. He should vocalize it, but we don't know who it is. I think it's Ordway, but John thought it might be Fitzy.
Now I have to send another text.
But I don't know who it is.
Hang on a second.
The rant goes on and on about folks who now have podcasts, so I feel like it could be a couple folks. It also is really hilarious that they look like they're all on Zoom in a conference room.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I'll tell you that. But I saw it too. All right, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Nothing. I just stopped by to chat, shoot the breeze.
No, who are you texting?
Ted. We're going to get an answer.
Oh, you're texting Ted now.
Yeah.
Did you find out why I was kicked out of the fantasy league?
Not yet.
Okay.
Waiting for the response.
All right. Eddie, you're on the air.
This is for Dan to clarify what Adolfo was talking about, and this will be appropriate. So, Dan, raw dogging a flight is taking a flight from your origin to your destination without reading, using your phone, watching a movie, listening to music, or sleeping. So he's saying, have you ever gotten a flight to Disney and done none of those things? Just like look straight ahead at the chair the entire time.
Eddie, thank you, because Adolfo clarified and said that's what he was meaning. So it was non-sexual.
Oh.
No, I never have. Have you? Maybe I have for like a leg of a flight, but not to Disney or anything like that.
I mean, like if you're going to New York, they don't have a TV on the
Right.
plane and they don't have Wi-Fi sometimes. So, but I always have a phone or like a book or something. So no.
Yeah.
Or music. Like there's something to distract me. But there are puddle jumper flights that are like 25 minutes. Like flying to New York is like 25 minutes in the air. So I could do that. I could look out the window. I'm starting to move to the window.
Really? I've always been a window guy.
Yes, because no one opens up the window shade. And it's just like so aggravating to me. Like if you're not sleeping, just open the window like a little bit. Aren't you at all curious to, like, you're in the sky. I fly, 8 trips, 7 trips, 14 times a year. If you count the times I have to go to crap places that you have to take 2 flights, like Knoxville. Yeah. That's, so add to it. I'm on a plane like a bit. And like there has to be at least a little curiosity of like how high we are or what's going on. It's amazing to me. Like flying to New York, there's no screen. Like you don't even want to see the city. Like when you land at LaGuardia or JFK, the cityscape is there.
That's fair. Even Newark, you fly right by the city. You can see
Newark,
it.
I think, is closer than all.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 airports. But you do have to be careful because there are times where you're sitting on an aisle and then the guy or woman will have the window, the shade open, and the sun is right in your face.
Of course.
And they should be mindful of that.
Of course.
I mean, come on.
Of course, John.
There's some decorum here.
Of course. But the sun being right in your face when you're above the clouds doesn't happen very often, at least in my experience. But if it was happening, then I would obviously lower the shade.
Exactly.
So the sun wasn't in your face.
Or you're watching a movie, it's a long flight.
Yeah, or
right?
if someone would, but even if you're watching a movie, you can lower the shade halfway or 3/4 of the way down. Just a speck of light to know that we're alive. That's all.
I like to definitely open it when we're starting descent.
Yes.
Then you can watch everything.
Well, if you're starting descent, at least it gives you an idea. I don't know, just like having no curiosity about like where you are in the world or like where you are in the sky is a little odd to me. I've heard Felger make this same statement.
And I find it uncomfortable that if nobody opens that shade, that if you're flying and you're descending, all of a sudden it's boom, boom, and you land, you're like, oh, it just scares the heck. I want to see.
Well, because when you're landing, they turn
right?
off the good thing on the screen, which is where it shows how high and how fast you're going.
Yes.
I enjoy that. And it just goes to the map, and the map does you no good when you're about to land. I mean, you're 200 miles from the airport for like half an hour while they circle and wait for a runway. So, like, I don't know. I'm the same. Because I pee a lot because I'm old. So I like being in the aisle. But if I'm with my kids, sometimes now I go crazy. I take the window.
Wow.
And because I don't care about bothering them, slap them on the way back.
Wake up.
Yeah. All right. We have time for one more.
No, we don't. We're good. TC's waiting.
Sitting around at a cocktail party, shooting the breeze, shooting the breeze, shooting the breeze.
Mike, you are last.
Hey, first of all, with TC coming up, tell Tom I said hello. I love Tom. He's one of my good friends. But secondly, I have a question because I am actually going on a train to Maine to follow up my last call, Fred. But when you guys are on public transportation, do you listen to your pornography with your headphones in, or do you play it over the speakers?
Dan, what do you do when you're watching pornography on a public train? So you're admitting to doing it, but you're afraid to say if you listen to the how you listen to the audio.
I don't do it, Fred.
See, the non-TV people couldn't see you smile.
When was the last time that you watched Have you ever seen a fake Disney animation where they get Randy? That has to come up.
That's
from
a
time to
cottage
time.
industry these days, I'm told. Yes.
That has to come up from time to time. No. Have you ever seen a character at Disney, one of the Snow Whites or something, and said hubba hubba? You've never thought that the women dressed as the characters have ever been attractive?
I've been more paying attention to the princess with the kids. The kids will, take your picture or whatever.
You're paying more attention to the kids.
Yeah, my kids.
Well, your kids are adults.
Well, back
they're
then.
still taking pictures.
Nowadays,
with the,
I don't.
You've never seen Snow White or something and gone oh, that's the woman in the costume is attractive.
Oh, I mean, okay, well, she's pretty, yeah. So what's the big deal?
Okay, you love Disney. Is that a kink of yours? Have you ever? You've never had anyone dress up as a Disney character? No. If you did, what character would it be?
I think it's okay. We're late for TC.
Would it be? Who would it be?
We've had this discussion. I know the answer. I know the answer the last time you asked him.
What did he say?
Jasmine.
No.
It was. The last time we talked about this, you said Jasmine.
I like Belle.
Which one's Belle?
Beauty and the Beast, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've never seen Beauty and the Beast.
Little quiet.
Jasmine is Atlanta, correct? Not Atlanta.
It's from the show Atlanta. Jasmine from the show Atlanta. He likes Pam from Martin.
I'm thinking about all the strip clubs in Atlanta. I'm thinking about Magic City.
All right.
Aladdin.
Do you trust me?
Thank you,
That's
Dan. We know what Dan likes. He loves Disney pornography. Very good. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
You can.
Here in Toronto that lost the first 3 games and are now 3-9 against the Blue Jays.
He's exploring the world of Looney Hot Night. He's doing interviews left and right. Check him out.
Tom Caron is out there in Toronto with Nesson. Tom, hello.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
It's not Looney Hot Dog Night here. I mean, it's only Looney Hot Dog Night in Toronto.
Listen, I had a Looney hot dog. I'll just say this: you get what you pay for.
Yeah. How much were they? $2?
They were. They're $1 Canadian.
Oh.
They're $1, and they try to break records and do all that, but it's not. Surprisingly, it's not the best hot dog you've ever had.
That's a trend going on at baseball stadiums, by the way. They're really letting it go. The idea of grilling a hot dog is almost out the window. It's
I would. I've been to just about every major league ballpark, and I someday maybe do a power ranking. There's still a few places where hot dogs are hot dog. Fenway Frank's still a really good hot dog.
See, I don't like Fenway Franks.
Well, that's a taste thing. But Detroit has a really good hot dog. They do. And I'm trying to Kansas City has a good, and I'm not a huge hot dog guy. It's not like I go have one in every ballpark. I don't eat a lot of hot dogs, but you could tell. You just look at them on the roller or however they're laying them out there. You can tell pretty quick.
Yeah, well, if they're on a roller, that's the first thing. Is that if they're on a roller, I'm not having.
I used to like Fenway with the steamed buns and the steamed dogs. You carry that around.
It's wet though.
Good. Yeah, but you put a little mustard on it. It's just a good.
Well, I understand you put mustard on a hot dog, Dan, and I don't think Tom's overly. He doesn't like us bad mouthing the Fenway Frank. But
no, I'm saying it's not a bad hot dog. Like the hot dog I had here in Toronto Tuesday, it was one of the 5 worst hot dogs I've had in my life. And I've eaten at a lot of golf courses. I mean, it was a horrible hot dog.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just can't stomach a Fenway Frank because they come out wet and then they put them in Wonder Bread and then it's just like a wet thing. It's not. I want a hot dog, and you're right. Detroit does have. Very good hot dogs.
Seriously,
they have a Leo's Coney Island, Jerry Stasnopoulos shout out.
That's right. I was raised on Fenway Franks, and I walked into this show, Tom, thinking that Fenway Franks were good, and then I got to travel to Detroit and try the Coney Island. It's no contest.
It's a culinary situation.
Have you tried the Icelandic hot dog? That's a whole thing now.
No, what is that?
Yeah, try it. It's got lamb meat in it. It's a mixture of meats. It's really good. Try it sometime.
Who sells that?
I do enjoy lamb.
Well, they have. I had one up at a soccer match in Maine. They've got a stand there. They're really put horseradish sauce on them. They're different, but they're good.
No, I will enjoy that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, Tom Caron. I'll tell you, I haven't watched this much Red Sox in many, many years. This is a fascinating team. I mean, you can't beat the highs and lows. They're struggling with Toronto this season, huh?
Yeah, 3-9 against Toronto. One more game. Thankfully, this is it for the regular season against Toronto. And yeah, it'd be nice if they could just level this whole thing out a little bit. Win a couple, lose a couple, not win 15 and lose 6. But it's they're running on it right now. They look. When a team's hitting the wall and it's the dog days, and right now they're in the middle of 16 games without a day off, like when you're winning, you're kind of just getting by on adrenaline and surviving. And when you start losing a couple, like it's hard. You don't want to overdo what body language looks. They look tired. They look like they're really fighting it right now. So I thought the ninth inning, getting a couple of runs there, Contreras hitting a home run there, a couple of good signs offensively tonight. Max Scherzer hasn't had a great season, so today's a day that hopefully you swing your way out of it and get it going again.
I'll ask you, Tom, what we've asked every other Red Sox guest we've had over the last few days. Is this a mediocre team that had a bunch of guys play way over their head, or is it a playoff caliber team that's just going through a dip here in the schedule?
I'll give you a shocking hot take. They're not as good as they looked last month, and they're not as bad as they looked at the beginning of the year. Or right now, they're somewhere in the middle. They're what I thought they would be. When you even it all out, you go back to what you said at spring training. I said they're a wild card team, and I think they're a wild card team. And that's 32-5 or whatever it was. What it afforded you is to survive a 6-game losing streak. They've still got a 6-game cushion in the wild card race. They're in really good shape. It's cost you we're getting a little greedy there talking about catching the Rays to win the division. That horse has left the barn. They're 10 games out in the East now. So you're a wild card team. You're fighting, end of week after next, they got a 4-game series at Yankee Stadium. That's going to be huge to see if you got any chance of hosting that. But that's what they are. They're a wild card team they're gonna finish over 500. The 85 to 88 win range, and they should be a playoff team.
TC, I think if you're a Red Sox fan and you see, you were one amongst them that tweeted it. Chad Tracy said Garrett Whitlock dealing with elbow inflammation, not available yesterday. They'll follow up tomorrow. That is a scary one when it comes to how good this pitching staff has been.
Absolutely. That was not good news. And, I would argue that as good as Chapman has been, and he was an all-star, I think Garrett Reliever's their best and most important reliever, Garrett Whitlock. He has just been nails in that 8th inning and been steady. They lean on him a lot, and he's been there to answer the call. So I'm told this is a recurring thing, that he's had this a little bit, but they haven't had to make a huge thing out of it. But, sometimes when something's recurring, every time it gets a little worse. So we'll find out a lot more today. But that was unexpected because that was, when Tyron Guerrero came out for the 8th inning in a tie game, you're like, wait, where's Whitlock?
Yeah.
And you find out after that he wasn't available. And that's really bad news if that's going to linger for any amount of time.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Guerrero because I've been watching these games, so I'm very in-depth in the middle relief. They used Guerrero back-to-back nights, and he struggles last night, and that's it's systematic, I guess, of just every major league staff at this point. As the season goes on and you're playing all these games in a row, what's the deal with him? Is he just tired, and how? Do you see this staff going forward this month?
Well, he looked tired last night, and this is a guy who is regularly 100, 101. I think he only touched 100 twice last night. I thought it was interesting. Tracy, after the game, when I asked him, he said that, when you use the guy a lot, that's what happens. You lose a little velo. That says he's tired, right? And then I asked Guerrero, and he kind of, did the head snap and looked at me like, no, I'm not tired. I'm good. I felt fine. Everything's fine. It just sometimes it doesn't come out as fast. But I think he looked a little fatigued, and you're right. That's every bullpen in baseball in August. It's going to be the systematic issue here when you run it back is their starters aren't going deep enough. They've had the best bullpen in baseball by ERA, but if you go back to July 1st, I was looking at it last night, that bullpen has the second most innings of any American League team. That's not sustainable. You can't go 4 innings every night. And Suarez, they've stretched him out pitch count wise, but he's not getting deep enough into games. 5 last night, and that's his longest start since June, which means every time he starts, you're going 4, 5 innings of bullpen use, and they've won 4 out of those 5 games. So you're using, kind of your A relievers, right? The guys you got to bring in when you've got the lead, not mop-up guys. So, Chad Tracy's got to figure out a way to get this bullpen some rest, and it's got to begin with a couple of starting pitchers going long. Tolley's a prime candidate to go 6-7 today, and you need it because these guys are on fumes.
Yeah, but with Tolley, how many pitches do you let him throw? Because he's a kid, and how much do you want to wear him out in August?
Well, I thought last time out, I thought it was his best one yet. The best combination of fastball, curveball he's had. And, he struck out 14 with career high, but, and they pulled him out because it was a 9-1 or something. They had a huge lead, which he said, I talked to him yesterday. He said, make no mistake. People say you don't pitch the scoreboard. He goes, I was pitching the scoreboard. I had an 8-run lead. I was going after everybody. And so, he was able to still go deep. They pulled him out up to 6, but he's only in the 80s for a pitch count. I'd like to see him, he strikes out a lot of guys. It wouldn't be a bad thing to not strike out as many guys and get some ground ball outs and get out of innings quicker. But it's not like the old days, Fred, when they used to you pitched 110 innings last year. We got to cap him at 130 this year. They really don't do that anymore. They do, with all the biometric stuff they have, it's constant strength testing along the season. And he's a big, strong kid. He's got the makeup for it. I don't think they're worried about inning total. I think it's just a kind of a week-to-week, keep an eye on him, and if he's showing any fatigue, then we might have to back it off a bit.
Quick question about Roman Anthony. You're with the team. We hear that he's not that far away from going out on a rehab assignment, and, Trevor Story would be nice. I never thought I'd be saying that. Trevor Story would be nice at shortstop. They need a couple of bats in this lineup right now.
Yeah, they do. Really good news this week on Anthony. First good news they've had on him in a long time. So he's in that traject machine now, which is the pitching machine that simulates any major league pitcher and throws exactly what that pitcher throws at you. So
that's the thing with the screen of the pitcher
with the release point. I've seen that. Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah, it's spring training. I got into it. I got to they didn't let me swing, but I got to stand there and watch that they had Crochet pitch to me. It's crazy. And you can, you change the pitcher and the hole where the ball comes out of moves down to where that guy's arm slot is. Jeez. And then it's the video of that guy, and you can have him throw a slider. You can have him throw a fastball. You have him throw a changeup. So these guys are having much shorter rehabs now because even though they can't swing, they can start tracking pitchers way earlier than they used to, which is a big part of hitting, obviously. So he's done that this week, which are full swings against full-speed major league pitching. And I was talking to staff yesterday, and they told me, the big question is every morning right now, how's he feeling the next day? And he feels great, they said.
Well, that's
so
good.
I would not be surprised if he's on a rehab next week. They haven't said that, but I just, that's the next step. Really funny side story on that. I don't know if this is out there, but apparently when they first got this thing a couple years ago, remember Connor Siebold? He was here for a little while with the Red Sox.
Sure.
Yeah. I guess he was like the default guy they'd put in there because everybody hit him pretty well, so they felt pretty good when they faced Connor Siebold.
Oh, that's funny.
That's great. They only understand why they got rid of him.
Next week, remind me to ask you how they're testing strength on these pitchers. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they don't
you
go
got
by.
A little vested interest in that. There, you got to buy some equipment here, Fred. Get after it. Let's go.
Well, listen, I'm interested in how anyone's being handled.
I know, right?
I gotta,
pretty good.
I gotta hear about it. All right, Tom Caron, watch him as he has dollar hot dogs and trashes them.
I had a question for you, TC, but Fred won't let me.
It's 8:43, stupid, and we have 2 breaks left this hour.
I'll text you later.
Yeah, text me, Rochi. I'll answer you. No extra charge.
Thank you.
Please.
See you guys.
He can aggravate you. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
That was great. The Cutter Seabold thing.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
They have the batting practice guy in the simulator.
Which one of our guys is easiest to hit? Let's simulate that.
It's so bad.
All right, let's take a break. Here are the headlines.
I'm sorry. I need to butt in here. I listening to you two go back and forth during the commercial, I thought this was a dead issue, and we had discussed it in the first hour, and it was over. And Dan, he's laughing and trying to pass it off as, this is funny and I'm just kidding. I think there's some truth to this. And this all goes back to Fred making reservations, hotel reservations at Disney without asking for Dan's input or allowing Dan to help. And they were back talking about this during the last break. And Dan came over the top saying, you know what, Fred, there are a lot of things I could have done for you, but the horse is out of the barn now. And you said it with the smile on, but you're genuinely a little upset about this, aren't you?
No.
Yes, yes, you are.
Is this you
just absolutely are?
Is the thing you texted me AI or is it your own writing?
It's my nephew. Him and I discussed.
Since we've been on the air?
But I said you were staying at Coronado Springs. This was a couple days ago when I first found the news.
No, I'm staying at the Grand Floridian.
So now I'll text him and say, hey, he's staying at the Grand Floridian. Any good tips? Because he's great at it.
Right.
So. Little things, Fred. Little things that matter in
Yeah,
life.
apparently Coronado Springs is no good because
It's convention-like.
That's what.
Okay.
Because I was at someone's house yesterday and I said Coronado Springs and they're like, ooh, and they're like, didn't want to say anything, and they're like, that's a budget hotel, and I'm like, I didn't price like a budget hotel.
I was just gonna say $1,000 a night. That's not a budget hotel.
Yeah, and so I like for Disney, right? Like
Right,
it's
yeah.
not like on the water, and so I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, oh no, it's the Grand Floridian. She's like, okay,
Yeah,
that makes
that's
sense.
the big boys.
And that's like what Dan
Good for
did.
you.
He went like, oh, okay.
I'm proud of you staying at the Grand Flow.
Yeah, the Grand Flow. That's right. So he was talking about it. First of all, his wife thinks that this has been a good show so far.
Oh, good.
Which I
Why
do.
these little
I'm
conversations
very,
I have
very
with you have to
happy. Well,
spill onto the air?
Because I thought it was nice.
Oh, okay.
Why would I have an issue with your wife saying that you were doing that the show was good?
Dan,
I
take
like
a compliment, Dan. He's complimenting your wife.
All right, ease up, everybody.
Well, no, because what that says is you think I'm a psychopath.
No, not necessarily.
Why would I have an issue with someone saying that the show sounded good?
No, I was sharing it with you. That's all.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cross the line and get into your personal
See,
life there.
that's
Dan.
what I'm talking about, Fred. He said something in a particular tone, and then when
now
called
you're
on
gonna
it,
measure my
immediately retreats back into it's a small world after all, and
Here's what's
everybody's
going on.
happy. And
Dan and I do text a lot. We text a lot non-show stuff. We text about my son. We text about his kids. We text about travel. We do text about these things. I would say Dan and I are legitimately friends, and so. I think Dan is like, why didn't you reach out to contact me about Disney? And the thing is that, to be honest, the plan would be that I would ask you about Disney, but that wouldn't be now. Like I had time. I was thinking ahead. We were booking the room for Rollins. I wanted to make sure I had the hotel I wanted in Winter Park. And then when I was thinking about it, I'm like, I'll just book the hotel at Disney. I tried to do it through American Express. They don't have any access to that, so I did it through Disney. And then it was just like, all right, well, there's $200 hotels and there's expensive hotels. This one looks like the least kitschy. It's the Grand Floridian. It looks like it's like a hotel that could be like not at Disney. And I'm like, that's what I want. And so I did that. What I was going to do, I would ask you what parks to go to because we're not going to multiple ones a day. If I go to a park, what park I could go to. I asked you if I need reservations to eat. These are the things that
You
I
bought
asked
passes too, right?
Yes, one park a day, plus sports and water park, even though the water park won't be usable.
Yeah.
But it said sports, so I got excited. I thought, well, you could go see pitchers and catchers.
Round of mini golf. Well, the Braves used to train there. That was the cool part of going when you're going.
I thought the Yankees were there.
They were there briefly. No, the Yankees have always been in Tampa.
Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah, but the Braves were there.
Oh, it was the Braves there with Disney.
I saw
They're
the
not at
Braves
Disney
play there.
anymore?
No.
Where'd they move to?
I don't know. But
Wait a minute. I thought the Braves were there too. Are there any teams there anymore?
No.
Oh, Steinbrenner Field is where Scott Ian from Anthrax tried to take the batting circle. Okay, yes. He got arrested for breaking into there and trying to steal the
really?
batting
Oh.
area. Yes. All right. Well, that was what. So
Northport? Where's that?
So, I just was.
Braves are in Northport.
I figured if I was on the Disney site and it all seemed pretty like concrete of like, I don't want to stay at Animal
But
Kingdom.
I would just would have said to you, like, hey, pick up the phone and call and say, I'm on the Disney site. What about these hotels? What do you think? And I would have given you my opinion on each of the ones you said to me.
Okay, but again, they were priced like $900 a night or $200 a night. So I got rid of the
I can find
$200
you
a
in
night
between,
ones.
Yeah.
No, but there was nothing really in between. It was pretty much all priced at the same price point.
Could you have gotten him a discount?
It depends on how far in advance.
Okay, but do you understand what that would have entitled? What that would have
been
entitled?
easy.
No, it wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have just booked it. I would have had to have gone and bothered Dan and consistently bothered Dan about it while it all played out. I'm very, to a fault, I don't want to bother people. That's like my main thing. My main thing is that behind my back, people are saying, "Oh, Fred won't like lay off of me like da 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 da." I don't want to be annoying.
No, I understand. I
But
understand that.
you're in my category of you don't bother me. Like you're
Right.
that good of a
But
friend,
I don't want to repeatedly be asking you to do me a favor when I don't really care about the favor.
Plus, it's there. I just want to get it done. It's one less thing to worry about. I actually understand that part of it. I do.
Like I I don't like asking for favors, and if I ask for a favor, it's like something that the person it would be 99% something for my kids that only that person could do. Like when Bert offered the sideline passes to a Jet game, that was for Milo, right? Like, and Bert offered, and then I texted him once about it. I didn't want to bother him about it. He was really cool, and he got him. But, I didn't want to, I don't want to bother him. So there you go. That is my perspective, Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't listen to one word I said.
heard of everything.
No wonder your wife's always on your ass.
All I wanted to hear at the end was, hey, would you like to come with us?
You're more than welcome to come.
Hi ho!
Oh man! Please go with him to the rides.
Someone said
Please,
that to me.
God, let that
I was
happen.
talking to somebody about how I heard this morning. They said you should go and just film everything.
Yeah, Splash Mountain. That's his favorite.
Oh, it's the best.
Splash Mountain is Danny's favorite ride. I know that.
You know what? You and I should go to a Red Sox game this year.
Yeah, we should.
If for nothing else, to get our social media cooking.
Yeah.
All right, Danny.
All right, we got to step aside. We got a radio star coming up.
All right. All right.
Radio superstar.
Calm down, Johnny. You busted in at the beginning of the break, and now you're telling me to go to break?
I thought that conversation was necessary for the two of you to hash it out.
All right. Well, you don't have to bookend it with demands.
Sorry.
All right. Be listening.
Sorry.
I have things I have to read.
So are we good?
You were the one with the problem. Well, John was the one with the problem, but I had to explain to John what was going on.
Okay.
And then thereby explaining it to you. You get a chance. Listen,
So
we're giving away. We're great, buddy. Giving away tickets for tonight's game.
Oh, nice.
The big preseason game,
Yep.
saving you $1. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. We'll have those tickets right when we get back, and we'll have Phil Perry in studio.
Awesome.
Avoiding uncomfortable subjects for Dan for another break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Indianapolis Colts to Gillette Stadium. Jim Murray and Chris Gasper have Patriots preview at 4:30, and that'll be followed by kickoff with Bob Sosey and Phil Perry at 7:30 right here on your flagship radio station for the Patriots 98.5 The Sports Hub. The two starting quarterbacks, Drake May and Daniel Jones, are not expected to play tonight. In other Patriots news, they signed not one but two running backs yesterday, bringing in Hassan Haskins and JaMychal Hasty. Up in Toronto, Toronto scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to snap a 1-1 tie. They held off the Red Sox 6-4 at Rogers Center. Tyron Guerrero allowed all 5 runs in the 8th. He threw 20 pitches and didn't get anyone out to take the loss. Peyton Tolley will try his luck today in the hopes that the Sox avoiding a 4-game sweep. The full NBA schedule will be announced at 3 p.m. this afternoon. The big story in the NBA yesterday came from L.A., where 10 months after he was approved as the new owner of the Lakers, after buying the majority interest for $10 billion, Mark Walter flipped it to the duo of Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for $12.5 billion. And the Little Leaguers from Bridgewater, Massachusetts, played Gray, Maine in the New England Regional Final tonight in Bristol, Connecticut. The winner of tonight's game goes to the Little League World Series. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured, not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Diving, but he's got a breakaway. Goes to the backhand. Throws it in front, coming to the slot.
The Sports Hub.
It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
He works for NBC Sports Boston, but he's calling the game with Bob Sosey tonight on the radio here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Caller number 10, first of all, to the contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll get a pair of tickets for tonight's game at Gillette. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Phil, hello.
Good morning, boys. Very excited to call the game tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Very excited.
Before you went on the air, and you were saying that there's people that will be playing tonight that were signed to the team literally yesterday.
Yes. So that'll be a lot of fun. JaMychal Hasty actually is back, so we kind of know who he is. And Hassan Haskins was the other running back they signed yesterday. So it's a challenge. You get into the fourth quarter. This will be my third year doing this with Bob. And Bob is as prepared and knowledgeable about the roster as it gets. And I try to be the same way. We're out there for all these practices. And even for us, sometimes at the end of these games, you're looking out there at the roster and saying, who is that? What is that guy's name again?
So if you're signed as a running back like the day before a game, how many plays do you have to learn?
It's a great question. I think they would keep it relatively vanilla, but we were going through a tour yesterday. They provided a tour through the new facility for media and others, the New Balance Athletic Center. So we were going through a tour, and they have this indoor turf room. It's like this massive room. It's beyond the width of a football field, and you can go out there and you can get your alignments, and your coaches can walk you through different things. It's like being on the field without actually having to go out on the field. And they had a new player there. Hassan Haskins is out there working with the running backs coach, Tony Dews. And so my guess is he walked him through a couple dozen plays. How many of those will he actually have to run? I don't know. But you have to just have some awareness of what you're doing. My guess it'll be very, very basic. And whatever he's done with teams in the past, there's a lot of carryover.
Just get the ball and go. Here.
Yeah, find daylight, babe.
Yeah.
What are they looking for? If they sign a guy to play him the next night, what could that guy possibly do in the game? Because actually, Dan did a contest earlier today, and who was the running back that went off that you guys
Ralph
were
Webb.
Ralph Webb is a good one.
Yeah.
Who else was part of that? Brian
there was
Kings
one
was part of that.
There was one where the guy like went nuts and like ran for over 100 yards.
Danny Etling.
Yeah,
that was
Etling.
a quarterback.
In 86 for a touchdown.
All right. Well, anyway, but if you're a running back, like, what would you have to do tonight to like make this is kind of interesting if you're watching it late into the game. If you were a running back that got signed yesterday, like, in your opinion, is there anything that you could do tonight to get their attention?
Sure, there are, I would say, some innate skills, at least at that position, right? That you might not even have to know the plays all that well, but if you can create some yardage on your own, if you take a carry and there's a body at your feet, 1 yard into the backfield, and you can avoid him and somehow create positive yardage, like, the play is kind of blown up at that point as soon as you get the ball. So then it's just on you to just go make something happen. If you can do that, like, that to me would be noticeable, help you stand out. Sure.
Well, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's another part of this. Haskins has history with Vrabel in Tennessee, played for him there, and Hasty played for Vrabel last year. So it's not like there's a running back in off the street trying to make an impression. Vrabel already knows about both of these guys.
But these are you're talking about two particular players, but the idea is that Phil was saying that there's guys that will be essentially, John, that guys will be playing tonight that really haven't been with the team. So if you're watching tonight and it gets late into the game, or you're listening tonight and it gets late into the game, and you need some kind of like something to hang on to, it would be right that there's someone out there that possibly is this incredible long shot that could make the team. Like the idea is that there's something going on in the second half of that game where some dream could be realized.
Baron Morton, for example, going to play a lot tonight. Third string quarterback, Fred.
Yes.
Very good. Is there anything Baron Morton could do tonight to impress them to get anything going? What's his history?
I find it unlikely. Texas Tech guy, late round draft pick. I find it unlikely that they'll keep three quarterbacks. But he's been fine in the practices that we've seen. Dan would tell you he's been okay. They're really deep at receiver, which I think helps these backup quarterbacks look as good as they've looked in practice. But I would look at some of the other positions that are a little thinner. If you're late into this game and you're a real sicko and you want to watch this entire through the fourth quarter, you're listening to us. Some of the thinner positions, to me, the guys that are out there even late, like, might have a chance to do something because there's a real need at that position. So for me, that would be inside linebacker. That would be on the edge. Like, if you show something, even if it's into the fourth quarter, and you still have time to then build upon that, right? There's practices between
Amani Gaynor, right? That kind of guy. Even Hutchins, the kid from BC.
Quintavious Hutchins,
if you can flash a little bit. A lot of these guys, too, is trying to make the practice squad.
Right.
That's what you want to do. So if you're Baron Morton tonight and you show that you've picked up the offense, that you've learned from the two quarterbacks ahead of you, from Josh McDaniels, you look like you have a clue in the offense, then it was like, okay, we'll re-sign you back to the practice squad, keep you here for a year, and then who knows what happens after that.
Yeah, there's a pass rusher by the name of Xavier Holmes on this year's team.
Yes.
He's from James Madison. He's stood out at times. He's very briefly flashed, but he's gotten some reps, like, with the second team. He's an undrafted rookie. Last year, Elijah Ponder, undrafted rookie, made the team, ended up played a lot in the postseason for them, actually made some plays in the postseason for them. So that would be the kind of guy. I could see him playing in this game really late, but I could also see sort of like a very narrow path, but a path to him maybe making the roster. So those are the guys who really have something to play for.
And when I watch games, and when I watch practices, I kind of look for flashes of numbers. Like, what number are you seeing having a good day or a lot in the back? But Holmes is one of those guys, 58 and 59. Khalil Jacobs, right? Another guy that you're starting to see flash a little bit more and more. And then if you're there every practice, by the time you're done training camp, you get a sense of, I can understand why the Patriots might take a chance on him or bring him back in the practice squad. Or like Ponder, just keep him there, and he just keeps growing on you. By the time he's done, he's playing a postseason football game. So there is something to pick up importance-wise, seeing things like that.
But are there guys that you guys see in training camps of the past that you were like, wow, this guy's like dominating or not dominating, but doing well in every practice, and then inexplicably they get rid of him? The performance in practice doesn't match the
guys
result.
The wide receivers are the ones that you usually see flash over the years. That we've seen. We talked about Brian Timms being in that quiz. Like all those kind of guys that if for some reason they might get cut, you're like, wow, they cut him. I thought, everyone was excited about him. Was it like a guy like Chisholm who's a little different because he keeps growing and getting better, but those kind of guys who everyone gets excited about in week 2 of the preseason because he has 120 yards, So.
Right.
Yeah, Ralph Webb, I think, was one of those guys.
Yeah.
But it's usually, Fred, you're not – I think if you're really paying attention to guys like Dan Roach and their reports from training camp.
Right.
He's telling you what's really going on. So Ralph Webb, might score 3 touchdowns in a preseason game, but, if you're out there watching practice, you're not really, like, blown away by Ralph Webb. So when he gets cut, it's not the biggest shock in the world.
Okay. All right. So the starter is not playing this evening. That's what you guys are hearing?
That's what it sounds like. The guys that I think could have real roles on the team that I'm interested to watch play would be like Caleb Lomu, the first-round pick. He's been at left tackle. He's been at right tackle. He's been the backup left tackle, so like the second-string left tackle. But then when Morgan Moses needs a breath and needs some time off and needs some management, he's been with the starters at right tackle. So what does that look like? Because to me, he's had moments where he's looked fine and looks like a good athlete, and he's a big enough kid. But then he's also had moments where you look at him and you say, if he had to start in a game tomorrow, like if Morgan Moses gets hurt first series week 1 of the regular season, I'm not sure he'd really be ready to play. And so you would love to see a guy who's really ready to play when you spend a first-round pick on him. Like that should have been kind of a luxury pick. You are at the bottom of the first round. You actually traded up to go get him. You need him to be able to play and play right away. In theory, Morgan Moses is 35 years old. And something could happen to Will Campbell. You never know. But I think most are assuming if they need a guy at tackle, it's going to be on the right side there. And I think he needs to start stringing some days together. So today would be a good day to start. And then if he can have a couple decent joint practices against the Eagles, then maybe you feel better about him moving forward if he has to play right away. But he's looked young to me.
As part of that, I would look also at Marcus Bryant, right? Because he's kind of been there under the system, knows the offensive line, Doug Marrone, everything is what they're doing. Is he ahead of Lomu when it comes to a possibility of being that swing guy that they're looking for as well? That's maybe a competition that you're starting to look for now when you see him in games, right?
Maybe. That would be a bad sign to me.
Yeah.
If you're a first-round pick, you drafted there because you're expected to play and have the ability to play pretty much right away. And if he's missing out on reps to Marcus Bryant, who was a 7th-round pick a year ago, that might be just how it should go, right? That would be Marcus Bryant earning those over the guy who's a first-round pick. You'd think the team wants the first-round pick to be the guy to succeed, but that would just be a little worrisome because when you take a guy that high, you want him to be able to go right away. And he's an interesting player because I know there was serious debate on him before they drafted him during that whole process about, is he their kind of guy? Is he violent to the point where you couldn't pass on him if he fell to you in the first round? And I don't think everybody in the building felt like he was or felt like he was worthy of a pick in that spot. But obviously the people who matter most did. And so now he's got to sort of make good on that. So we'll see if he can sort of pick it up here at the end of camp.
All right. So what is the Christian Gonzalez situation right now in terms of, was he out because he was injured? Was he out because of the contract? Is it a combination? What are you hearing?
Yeah, I think for me, I think it can be a combination of both, right? Where maybe he's a little slow getting up at the end of practice, though he didn't come out of practice. So he fell hard in that practice before the Colts practice, trying to make a play on Romeo Doubs, caught a beautiful touchdown in the back of the end zone, stayed in, did the 1 minute drill against the top Patriots offense, so he wasn't so hurt that he had to come off the field. And then we don't see him the next day. And so, to me, I mean, I think the smoking gun here is, and Fred, I know you're huge on Instagram.
Yeah,
Huge.
27,000 followers.
It's growing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's always growing. We're in a slow growth.
Yeah, I bet as long as it's ticking up, babe.
Yeah.
You're crushing it there.
People aren't leaving you.
I hope not.
I would look at his Instagram post, and the part of me that looks at like this part of our jobs in the media, and it's like, we got to really track what these guys are saying on their Instagram stories, huh?
That's the way it is
and
now.
we do, but that's the way it is. And so for him to use the Gunna lyrics that he used, which were about as specific as you could get to a guy wanting a new contract, while he's in his football jersey, like that was the image that was associated with the lyrics. Like, it's pretty clear he's not thrilled with the contract situation, the fact that he doesn't have a deal yet.
Why doesn't he have a deal yet? It doesn't make any sense. If Kraft said they were going to make him the highest paid corner, and there's this whole Witherspoon stuff, like Witherspoon has to get signed first.
That's the Burt Breer thing we heard 3-4 weeks ago. To me, it still holds true. What else would they be
Witherspoon's a corner for Seattle, and they have the same agent, and apparently Witherspoon will be the highest paid corner for like a day, and then Gonzalez would come in, like a lot like what happened with Jahmyr Gibbs. Like Gibbs pounced on the highest contract as soon as was the guy in
it was Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Taylor,
right,
with the two.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I asked him, "Do you want $1 more?" And he kind of looked at me like, "Huh?" You know what I mean? Like,
no, he wants to reset the market.
Right?
I think there's a variety of factors that are forcing this to go long, and one of them is, there's a semantic game there that Robert Kraft can play. We're going to make him the highest paid corner. Well, is it by $1? Because if it is, then the contract's relatively obsolete relatively quickly. Free agency's 8 months from now, and there's going to be a corner who probably gets a little bit more than you. I think there's also a really complicated situation that his agent, Reggie Johnson from CAA, is trying to navigate right now because, I think a lot of us have looked at it and said, yeah, he should wait for Witherspoon to go first. Then you have a number to work off. Then he can one-up him, and then everybody's happy. Well, why would Witherspoon be happy with that?
Right.
Well, wouldn't Witherspoon look at the agent and say, well, why do I have to be the guy that goes
saying
first?
The same thing, and Witherspoon's saying the same thing to each other.
And if you're the agent, you can't play favorites.
Yeah.
I think it's a really difficult situation for him to try to navigate. Like, to me, you almost got to get these guys almost identical deals and sign it on the same day.
Ready, go.
And try to reset the market with both,
yeah.
But to try to keep both guys happy. Because if I'm Witherspoon, I just won a Super Bowl. I was a higher pick than Christian Gonzalez was. I've played more football. Like, why am I the guy who's going to, help him get more money than me? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, and then you're negotiating with 4 parties, and then you have to keep everything lined up, and that's a lot of balls to have in the air. Yeah, it's probably pretty frustrating.
Now, I think if the Patriots, Fred, offered Christian Gonzalez a deal that completely blew open the market and bowled him over in terms of guarantees, I think he wouldn't have to wait. But I don't know if the Patriots are looking to reset the market at that position when they have a Drake May contract coming up next offseason. They might have a new A.J. Brown contract coming up next offseason, and you could be looking at, if you sign all 3 of these guys to new deals, very soon paying the 3 of them a combined $130 some odd million a year. And
that's
if you're trying to manage those costs, it's a significant chunk of what your cash output is going to be year to year.
And now there's an argument given the recent Super Bowl champions of the wisdom of doing something like that, because if you look at Seattle and you look at Philadelphia, that money was relatively spread around. It wasn't invested in a high money quarterback, and they were able to, have more depth. So there is that argument, is that in this new phase, it's the same thing with the NBA, in this new phase of the NFL, obviously I would want the good quarterback, and you're going to pay the quarterback, but is, investing in that amount of money and that percentage of the cap into a few players worth the lack of depth that's going to create?
And if I'm Christian Gonzalez, I don't care about how much money they're going to have tied up in 3 of us. I would be looking at it saying, I just showed up to camp for 2 weeks. I was the best player on the field. I went up against a true number 1 receiver every single day. And I basically frustrated A.J. Brown to the point where in a post-practice presser the other day, he basically was telling the media that I'm pissing him off and he's tired of seeing me.
And A.J. Brown said, yeah, I've never seen anybody else do that to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's frustrated him at times. It's very clear. They're drawing back and forth. It's been a good competitive matchup, but Christian Gonzalez, I would say, has been the best player, A.J. Brown included, on the practice field through these 2 weeks of camp. So if he's looking at it saying, if I came into this with the attitude of, if I show up every day for 2 weeks and I shut that guy down and I show them how good I am, they'll have to pay me, right?
No, he has
right?
to be thinking about the team. No, of course, yes.
And he still doesn't have it. He's on the books to make $3 million this year.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't be happy.
I wouldn't have gone to one practice.
I think a lot of people wouldn't have, right? And the other part that too is Fred is Vrabel's out there saying we want our key guys. We want to sign them. We want to keep them happy. They're cornerstones of our franchise. He's saying that too, so that all factors in as well.
I'm sure Vrabel wants
taking
them
care
to
of
sign.
guys. You know,
yeah. And Callahan was in here yesterday. He's like, I'm not sure that joint practices there's more of a chance of injury, but I would have to think that you don't control things as much. Like there's guys on another team that don't have that incentive of keeping you healthy. I mean, that just seems kind of it's self-explanatory. Like if I'm on the Patriots, I'm going to lose my job if I hurt Christian Gonzalez. If I'm on Indianapolis, that's not going to happen.
Right. I don't care. I don't care if he's healthy to start week 1. And so that would make sense to me if that's like, the line in the sand for Gonzalez, if that's what he had marked on his calendar. Okay, if I don't have a deal by joint practices, I'm going to start taking some liberties in terms of the time off that I need because of that very fact. They don't care if he's healthy, and so it does. It gets the competitiveness gets ratcheted up a bit, and the risk of injury, I would think, goes up to the point where it's not worth it for a guy like that.
All right, Phil's calling the game tonight. We'll keep him in for another break. We'll be back in just a moment. That don't know the rules.
You idiot. The Sports Hub.
Yeah, probably my first or second week here. That became the nickname. Originally, he was calling me Cutlets. And then he saw me wearing 2 gold chains that I always have on. I never take them off. And turned into 2 chains. And that's been it. And that's how it is throughout the building now.
He's fascinating to me because he hasn't been anything better. He started for a while in New York, and it was all fun because he lived nearby, and it was a nice story, and the whole Tommy Cutlets thing. Can this guy actually play? Can this guy sub in, God forbid, if Drake May gets hurt, if he's called upon to start for this team for 2 or 3 weeks, can he hold the ship until May gets healthy again?
What I would say is all we can go off of is the last 2 weeks of training camp practice, if that's what we're going off of. He's looked really good. Does that mean he can play if something happens and he has to go against a starting caliber defense? And I don't know. I can't tell you that. But I can tell you that this is my 16th year covering the team. I'm not sure I can remember a backup performance that has been this good. And that would be going back to Jimmy Garoppolo. And part of that is because I'm not saying he's better.
And Garoppolo wasn't even good in practice.
That's the thing. So I'm not saying he's Jimmy Garoppolo, but Garoppolo's whole thing was he actually threw a bunch of picks in practice, and it was like, oh, he's just trying things out. He's a gamer, and then he actually would play pretty well in the games. So in terms of true backup performances, this has been really good. And now, I don't know, Rochi, you tell me if you feel this way. I think part of the reason he's been as good as he's been is he's getting a chance to work with starting caliber receivers. The receiver room is so deep that when he goes out there, he's going against backups. And sometimes if Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez are out, it's like the backups of the backups. And he's getting to roll out there with Kayshon Boutte and Mac Hollins and Kyle Williams or Efton Chisholm. Those are his 3 receivers. Those are 3 NFL caliber players. So it's not like he's working with a bunch of undrafted guys out there. So that, I think, has helped. But the release has been quick. He's been accurate, especially down the field. Rochi, he's got a little bit of that moxie thing. He's a little undersized, but he can run around, and he's got a little bit of athleticism.
He's been through a lot in his career for not having played much, with the whole, Tommy Cutlets and everything else. So I think he's over that now, and I think he just wants to be a quarterback. He carries himself in a certain way as like, yes, I could be a starting quarterback, so I like that about him. And just looking at it, going back to when he first came in, when he was rushed into those starts in parts of 9 games, he was sacked 37 times. So, I think he'll get better protection. And I just think the Patriots have a decent amount of talent on that offense so that no matter what quarterback it is, even if Baron Morton was thrown in, and I'm saying that DeVito's way ahead of Morton, but get a good quarterback in here, they're going to be fine with this offense as long as they're protected because they have so many weapons that they can go to. And DeVito can go to Hunter Henry. He can go to those receivers you just talked about who are now 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the depth chart. So, yeah, I think he's got himself in a good position. Now, the question mark would be how long could he carry if Drake went down for a month? Is he good enough to be that guy? I think that's what Vrabel wants with the depth and everything else in the defense, but I don't think we know the answer just yet.
And I don't know if you will,
Yeah.
right? Like, even if he plays really well tonight, odds are it's going to be against backups. And so, that's great. And that's, all you can do is perform well against the people that are lined up across from you. But I don't think you're going to have a solid answer on who he is or what he would be if Drake May were to get hurt, because the guys he's going to be playing preseason are, generally speaking, going to be backups.
But he's showing you everything that you want right now through 2 weeks of camp as that quarterback, right?
Definitely.
Right, and is he going to? Could he play himself into a position where they have to get rid of him after this season because they're going to have to pay Drake May, and these backup quarterbacks now in the NFL make a ton of money? Are they going to have to start investing draft capital in quarterbacks?
I don't know. It's actually interesting. He just re-signed, so I don't think he's breaking the bank. I know what you mean. There are some backups who make real money. I don't know how high he is on that list.
Okay.
So we'll have to check into that. But I think they got a pretty decent deal on old Tommy Cutlets there.
Even with that agent, huh? They still got a bargain.
Just have to double check.
That agent's juggling a lot of clients. He's got a magician and juggler.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Does he really?
I don't know. I don't know what Tommy DeVito's agent. I don't know what else he does.
He's a worker.
I don't know.
Good for him.
He seems to be pretty focused on Tommy DeVito.
He's out there, but you know where he is.
He's out there. Oh yeah. Yep.
I saw him
Looks
playing
great.
football.
Great shape. Yeah, he's apparently he's the Italian flag football team or something along those lines.
Yeah, something along
Really?
those lines.
Yeah. He's in the Olympics.
Something like that.
Huh.
Yeah.
He's local.
I don't know if
I
the
hadn't heard
Italian
that.
football
Is
team
that right?
practices in Italy. I'm unaware if he flies to Italy for practices.
Oh.
But I don't know if the Italian flag football team, if they meet in Omaha.
He's not missing a game. He's not missing.
I just tell you, based on his body composition, he does seem like a dedicated fella.
Oh no, he's shredded.
Shredded.
And he's got to be an older gentleman.
He's older than me, but I don't know how old that makes him.
He's born in 1978.
Okay,
So
so
there you
he's
go.
48.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. I mean, he's
good for him.
He's looking good. I mean, he's very
He's a hustler.
vascular.
He's done charity books. He's good.
Huh?
A lot of good work. He had E.J. Perry as a client too.
Huh?
A quarterback from Andover who was with Jacksonville for a while.
And this is what he does for a living.
A lot.
Because don't they cap what agents can make it like 3% or something, or 2.5% of the contract? And he's got some kid from Andover and Tommy Two Chains.
He's got a bunch of other clients.
Who?
It's interesting. Young Beaton just emailed me a list, and let's see. There's Cam Lewis, Elias Neal, Milifanu, who I've heard of, Jordan Murray, Caden Davis, Sean Bowman.
If I told you that was the names of Chippendales dancers, you would have no idea.
I'm just reading off a list.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I
is
don't
I'm
know
saying
many
the
of these
names mean-
people either.
The names mean nothing to me.
Yeah. All of these are football players.
So my question is this what he does for a living? Because I have a friend who was a sports agent, and they cap the percentage that the agents can make at like a really low number. And so if you're getting guys that are making, $600,000 a year, and you're making 2% of that, I don't know how he feeds himself at a certain point. I can't do the math off the top of my head, but it doesn't sound like an awful lot of money. 2% of $100 million.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good money.
Yeah.
2% of $600,000. I can't do the math, but it doesn't sound like an awful.
Well, 1% would be 6,000, so that'd be $12,000.
Yeah, and you got.
If it's 2, I think it's 3. I think it's 3.
Okay, so 3. Well, now we're going with odd numbers, and that's very difficult.
I'm not going that far.
Let's not go crazy with this.
We need
thing.
a break here in a minute. Yeah,
absolutely. we got to get out of here by 10.
Look at that. Phil looking at the clock. I can't do it.
I gotta go.
We can't figure out the 3%, but I am off. I mean, an agent that is that interested in filming himself and his client, I am sometimes think it's like Mike Fidelli, the tax accountant who hires the models to go on the boat with him.
Yes.
I don't know how is this incentivizing me to get
I don't know.
To go to do my taxes with you. Yes, Jonathan, go ahead.
Just one more quick question about the game. And I don't know if you're aware, but we Patriots fans tend to overinflate training camp practices a little bit. And what we see, there was a lot of stuff going around Gabe Akis, when he was signed, when he wasn't signed. It seems like he's flashed more than once since he got into camp and started playing. He's running with the 2s and running with the 1s. I expect him to play tonight. What is your expectation here against another team?
Oh, yeah, I would expect him to play too. And listen, he looks the part, and you've heard multiple people, including Mike Vrabel, say that because physically he's kind of a specimen. And so he looks like an NFL player. He moves like an NFL player. I haven't noticed anything with the knee that gave him so many issues in terms of when to sign the contract. And so it doesn't even really look like they've had to manage him all that much, just based on what we can see from practice participation
I was
stuff.
going to ask about that. Is he going to be on a pitch count? That kind of thing.
Like, I just look at this, and I know people were worried that he had missed so much time that he might be so behind that he might even have to take like a redshirt year. And I don't want to denigrate what guys that are playing on the edge of an NFL defense have to know in order to play that position. I also would say it's not rocket science, right? Like, you're paid to go tackle the quarterback. Like, go get after that guy, beat the guy in front of you, shed blocks, stop a running back, go sack the quarterback. It's not middle linebacker. It's not safety. It's not quarterback. It's not even like tight end, which, you've got to know a lot of run game, pass game just to be able to get on the field. He should be fine. He's going to know what to do. And he looks like one of their most physically impressive edge guys to this point. But right now, it's Draymond Jones, it's Elijah Ponder, the undrafted guy from last year, and it's Gabe Akis. And after that, I'm not sure what else they're going to have. We haven't seen Harold Landry, and so he needs to be able to contribute right away. It's been up and down. Like, he had a pretty good joint practice, I thought. I saw him get near Daniel Jones at one point. Maybe that would have been a sack. I also saw him jump off sides, and I saw him get flattened on one of the last plays of the game where he ran a game on the inside, and I don't know if he went in sort of half-assed or what, but a guard from Indy put him on his back. So he's going to have a lot to learn, but I think just being as physically talented as he is going to allow him to contribute. And so that's another guy to watch tonight. That Colts line, I don't know how many of their starters will play, but that's a pretty good group. And so they should have some depth. And so there should be some real players that he'll have the opportunity to go against, and we'll see if he can actually get near the quarterback.
Mike loves him. Like, he just eats, sleeps, drinks football. He said he was texting him, when can I practice? When can I practice? You can see it. Mike's worked with him personally on the field. In the back, he's doing special team stuff with him. He once was part of the punt team coverage. So it's like he's working hard with him, and he seems to be responding. So I think it's fun to watch. And I also think the guy that won't go away is Ponder. Like, he just keeps making plays. And if you can add him to the mix, then you keep going with that, because you need it from the edge on this football team to go with Milt Williams and Barmore in the middle.
Sorry to interrupt, Dan. You're
It's okay,
100%
Phil.
right. You're 100% right. I knew you wouldn't mind. You're such a nice guy. You're going to need a rotation. You're going to need fresh bodies. Like last year, they got away with it, but at the end, they had to blitz their faces off to get to the quarterback. But for a large part of that year, it was Harold Landry and Kayvon Chase on the edge, and that was it. It was those two guys, and they asked them to play a lot in passing situations. I don't think you can do that again this year, especially with Landry. You can't just get away with two guys there. You've got to have 3, 4, 5 guys that you can rotate in and out the way the Seahawks did last year. It was one of the reasons why they were as good as they were. They didn't have any superstars on the edge, but they had 4 or 5 really good players that gave tackles a lot of problems, including the Patriots.
All right, well, tonight the game is at 7:30. You'll be able to hear it here on 98.5 The Sports Hub and watch it on WBZ television.
Yeah.
And you'll hear our very own Phil Perry doing the color commentary along with Bob Sosi. When does this whole thing get underway this evening?
7:30 kickoff, but the pregame Patriots preview 4:30 with Jim Murray and Chris Gasper.
7 o'clock with our crew.
4:30 here on the Sports Hub. My goodness.
It's a lot of coverage. Full coverage, one might say.
Must be nice to be Felger and Maz. Just take the summer off.
Those guys don't grind.
They don't grind it like us.
No, not like you.
All right, Phil.
Great to see you guys.
You're grinding
Good to
it
see you,
tonight.
Phil.
Yeah, Phil will be with us every week. We're working out an ideal time for everyone, but Phil will be with us every week. Phil Perry, watch him on NBC
money?
Sports Boston. No, the money's been handled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I handled it. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it, Danny.
Come on, boss. That's not.
I got it on the money. I screwed him good.
All right. Look, Phil Perry, watch him on NBC Sports Boston. We'll be back with our award-winning email segment. Here are the headlines.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey. I just let the pizza guy in.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
They give you a
And
slice?
it wasn't even for me.
Oh.
It was for Hot. They got pizza at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, boy.
They just ordered it, too. It, wasn't free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they, ordered it. And so the guy was outside. He didn't know how to get in. I go, do you need something? He goes, I don't need anything. I go, I can let you in. And I let him in because I gave him an ocular pat down. I figured it out.
Nice.
I let him in. I took him down. Got them the pizza. That's why I'm a little late, guys. Sorry.
All right.
I was just being a nice guy.
It's
just the way I roll.
it's what
you know,
you are.
Danny, it's
I
just the
got
way
you.
that I roll.
Yes, sir.
Our email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman. Turned off your phone. Who's calling you?
It was my healthcare.
Oh, boy. Is it your watch telling them that your heart rate has gotten to a point where you're going to die?
No.
Oh, fingers crossed. The Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777. 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. I will start with this email that Hardy on his off day got back to. This is from someone named Kristen, and she says, remember the argument about the fart in the Uber where the guy was threatening to kick my ass and everything else, where one of my kids broke wind apparently in the car and it smelled, and the driver did not like it, and he left his window down the entire ride back from Symphony Hall to Newton in December. And I said, thanks for leaving the window down the whole ride. And he started freaking out and going crazy. And I said, all right, man, I don't know what to tell you. And he goes, I have a kid. He is 16. He does not fart. And I'm like, okay. And then he was like, I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm like, you're not going to do anything. And I was standing on the driveway, and he's screaming from his car, driving back and forth. It says, hey, guys, love the show and listen every day since WBCN days. So thanks for my daily laughs. Apology if you've already solved this mystery, but had to share my findings after the show the other day and the inability of young Nicholas to find the clip of the lunatic rideshare driver and the fart smell around the world, a.k.a. Feliz Navidad Fartgate 24. I decided to take matters into my own hand in a search for this myself. Roll the tape back from December 16th, 2024, hour and 55 mark, where Freddie details the flatulence incident. And although the driver does accuse Fred of slamming the door, Fred declared that he did not. Hardy asked if Fred slammed the door, stating that that was very disrespectful. However, Fred alleges he did not. I'm not going to lie. If my recall of Feliz Navidad Fartgate 24, I too thought Fred alleged slamming the car door, but it turns out Hardy and I were wrong. Fred was right. I'm sorry for doubting you, Freddie. Take your victory lap on this W. And then she gives the YouTube link to it.
Oh.
And that's the thing about subscribing to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, is that you get you can pull up all these things.
Is any show you want forever?
Oh, they're up there forever. I mean, if you want to go back to 2024 and watch that thing, God bless you. And I'll tell you this, I got a lot of followers yesterday after we made the announcement I didn't have 27,000 followers. I got like 100 followers.
Oh, there you go. So now comfortably.
Usually when I just plug the Instagram account at Fred Toucher, it's drips and drabs. But yesterday, the listeners, it was actually a very kind gesture. The listeners heard that and they were like, oh, it was very unexpected. I scrolled and I saw I had a couple followers and I kept scrolling and I'm like, my goodness.
You blow me out of the water, Fred.
Yeah, I'm a big star.
I know.
You know? I mean something.
We have an email from Sarah from Everett, and she has to ask you a couple of questions, Danny. First, she wants you to know that she, too, was born on 7/11. Well, did you get your free Slurpee?
I didn't get there this year.
No?
Nope.
You
now
didn't
that he
go
knows
in?
it's not just for him. You know, Dan went to 7-Eleven on his birthday, 7-Eleven, and they gave him a free Slurpee. And he thought that the guy knew that it was his birthday.
Hey. Here you go.
It was pretty sad.
Great, please.
She's upset she didn't get on the Shooting the Breeze this morning, so she has a question for you. Wanted to ask Rochi, is it true on your morning walk do you pass over Michael Chiklis's parents' graves?
Yes. Yep. On the left.
On the left.
Jay Leno's parents, too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How do you know?
West Parish Cemetery. You can see the names right there.
But how does Sarah know and you know that they're buried in that cemetery?
No idea. That's scary.
Well, you know how you know. But how do you know?
I don't know. I've known. What do you mean? How do I know? How do you know?
I don't know when I'm in a cemetery who's buried in the cemetery.
I was told to look for it where it was. And
okay, so people go, wow, Michael Chiklis's parents are in the cemetery?
Played high school baseball with the guy who runs the cemetery.
Of course you did.
You know? Mark Atwood.
And there's never
great
been
right-hander.
There's
Right,
never
talk about
been
pitching.
a better ad for your high school than you just gave right there.
I know,
You
right?
become a guy who runs a cemetery.
He's a good guy.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Do you know that my brother never lost a game in high school as a pitcher?
Did he win most of the games?
He went to Fairfield. Pitched there.
Now, was it middle relief and he won no
he was a
games? Is it a
starter.
trick question?
No, he went there were two guys. He went 8-0, 9-0 his senior year. I forget what he did his junior year, but
Did he play in college?
Yes, at Fairfield.
Oh, he played Fairfield. He played D1.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Did he play 4 years?
No.
Oh, you left the team?
Yeah.
You get a scholarship to
Business and
Fairfield?
everything else? No.
Oh, you will walk
There's
on.
no Milo, you know? I got one, Fred. Dan, Fred flies a lot. Why doesn't he just take the time to watch Star Wars on his flight? Give it a chance.
Okay. It's been a time issue. I haven't had an hour and a half to sack away. I'm so busy. All right, everyone have a great day. Thank you, Daniel. Watch him tonight on WBZ. And
7 o'clock.
And listen to the game tonight here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.